Hello and welcome to Chinese Novel Audiobook. Explore our playlist for more captivating novels, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new audiobook. Now, let's dive into today's story. Chapter 41, New Bug Ability. Until the moment the man in glasses sees his body, he couldn't understand why this guy would do it so simply and neatly. Sorry, I will look for the antidote myself, and I will save people myself. I am really uneasy if you don't die. After Luo Qing pacified the deadly spectacle man, he looked at the dozens of pirates left. Originally, the spectacle man brought more than these people, but they were all clean and neat by Luo Qing in the previous battle. Sent away. We surrender, don't kill us. I know where the captain's antidote is, I can take you to get it. We are all forced. ... Never underestimate a person's desire to survive, and the disgusting face that is exposed in front of death. It's a pity, it's late. After was no longer bound, Luo Qing directly launched the killing mode. The sharp claws cut through the body of anyone standing in front of him like tofu. Coupled with the super fast moving speed of the sliding fruit, Luo Qing cleared these people in just 1 minute. Then just when he was about to pick up Nami to find the antidote in Kebi, Luo Qing unexpectedly noticed that a burst of cyan energy was slowly emerging from the body and head of the man with glasses, as if to follow suit. The wind drifted away. What is this stuff? Soul. Doesn't look like it. Luo Qing was very confused, and instinctively stretched out his right hand and grabbed it. Just then, something stranger happened. Luo Qing didn't think he could catch it at all, but he actually caught this cyan energy. What exactly is this? Luo Qing looked at the struggling thing in his hand and thought for a while, maybe it was because of the infinite glove on his right hand. So he stretched out his left hand to grab, and this time he crossed directly. No more hesitation, Luo Qing immediately activated the absorption capacity of the infinite glove, and firmly sucked this blue energy into the palm of his hand. It took dozens of seconds. When there was no such thing coming out of the man with glasses, Luo Qing looked dumbfounded at the palm of his right hand. An illusory atomized cyan devil fruit is lying in the infinite glove. This is fine too. Luo Qing was shocked. And then what should I do? Obviously the devil fruit in this state is very abnormal, because it has no substance, only energy. Entity. After thinking of something, Luo Qing immediately took out a fruit, and then brought the illusory devil fruit close to it. A miracle happened. The two are perfectly blended together. That ordinary fruit was directly transformed by this energy into a devil fruit with cyan spiral stripes. This kind of change made Luo Qing understand at once. Just when he was a little stunned, Nami suddenly groaned in pain harmoniously, which brought him back to reality. This is not the time to study this. Luo Qing quickly received the new demon fruit and the valuable head of the spectacle man into the space, then picked up Nami, and came to the spectacle man's boat during a few ups and downs. Only 2 or 3 minutes have passed since the man in glasses screamed, and this time is not enough for them to react. So when Luo Qing came to the glasses man's boat by the continuous drizzle, the guys laughed and counted the treasures robbed from Luo Qing's boat. Kirby was tied to a mast and was mocked by onlookers. Luo Qing was angry all of a sudden. Except for the 100 people who were brought by the man with glasses for insurance, those who stayed on the boat were all weak chickens, and the number was only about 20. Luo Qing didn't take much effort to clean up almost, and in the end there were only 3 lucky people who needed to ask them something. Where is the antidote? I know, but you have to promise to release me safely afterwards. Shua. One head falls. Where is the antidote? Luo Qing's expressionless face looked terrifying at the moment. A large part of the hurt and grievances suffered by Nami and Kirby stems from his arrogance. He just said to the man with glasses that he was grateful for teaching him a lesson, not all ridicule. I said. The head of the first bargaining person was at his feet, and the remaining 2 dared to talk nonsense, so they brought Luo Qing directly to the captain's room and found the correct antidote. After giving both himself and Nami the antidote, just in case, he also took some antidote to Kirby, who seemed to be nothing. It was thanks to his honey badger fruit that brought a certain amount of poison to his body, so that he could hold on to the time to fight back. Teacher, scared me to death, woo woo. After being rescued by Luo Qing, Kirby hugged his thigh very poorly and started crying loudly. He almost thought he was going to die. Don't cry. What does a man cry like? Luo Qing patted him on the head while teaching him severely. No matter what you encounter, you should be calm and strong. What problem can crying solve? Okay, go in and get a good night's sleep. I'll talk about it tomorrow. Kirby, who was still sobbing, immediately held back his tears, www.mtlnovel.com, and then nodded and went into rest. Only when he left Luo Qing's side could he feel the sense of security Luo Qing brought him. After Kirby left, he turned his head and looked at the last two of the male pirates with glasses. My lord, forgive me. We did nothing, all the bad things were planned by the captain. Two little people knelt on the ground and kept kowtow. After this night of thrilling killings, Luo Qing was also a little tired. Go down, it depends on your luck if you can survive the Great Sea route. Luo Qing pointed to the sea. The two wanted to beg for mercy again, but after seeing Luo Qing's increasingly impatient look, they jumped off the boat immediately after gritting their teeth. There are some planks disintegrated from the ship not far away. If you are lucky, there is no hope of surviving. It's just that they didn't notice the huge, harmonious shadow drawn by the smell of blood under the sea. Luo Qing naturally has no obligation to remind them that being able to give them this chance to survive still depends on the two of them who are more acquainted. After all, it's good to live an extra minute, isn't it? The huge shadow showed a terrifying look on the sea, and after a flash, the sea returned to calm. The sea beasts who had eaten the snack gradually dispersed. Blame can only blame myself for following the wrong person. Luo Qing turned around and entered the cabin. The corpses on the deck were used by him to feed the sea beasts just now. As for the blood on the deck, I believe it can be cleaned after the rain. And there will be Kirby tomorrow, there is no need for him, the captain, to do it himself. Is that the pirate flag was burned along with Aaron's ship, and it needs to be repainted. Chapter 42. One day full of vitality. The night's rain flooded all the traces of the battle last night. Only the faint smell remaining on the deck proved the restlessness of last night. The sun was exceptionally bright the next morning. Nami opened her eyes after she stretched lazily. Then, a scream announced the beginning of the full day of the faceless pirates. Ding guang ding ding. The tables and chairs in the room flew around. No. Nami, let me explain. Luo Qing, who was kicked out of the room, looked depressed, and then yawned greatly. He was worried about Nami last night, so he stayed by the bed and looked after her while studying the special demon fruit and the new ability of the infinite glove. Then I fell asleep because I was sleepy and tired. Just don't know what's going on, maybe it's too cold, so Luo Qing consciously climbed onto Nami's bed when he fell asleep, and the two hugged each other and slept well. So there was the scene where Nami ran away just now. Half an hour later, Nami, who was sitting around for breakfast, listened to Luo Qing's narrative, coupled with the certification of Kirby and the ship with iron evidence at her feet, finally reminded her that she was inexplicably knocked unconscious last night. That scene. The reason why Nami reacted so much before was probably because she regarded Luo Qing as the **** who knocked her out. XXOO. After thinking that she might be knocked out by him, how could Nami not be angry? Fortunately, this is just a misunderstanding. As for why she saw Luo Qing sleeping in her bed after she woke up, she also got a reasonable explanation. Seeing that he saved herself again and took care of her for one night, Nami chose not to care. The treasure is. My treasure will not sink with the ship too. Suddenly, Nami, who thought of something, directly grabbed Luo Qing's collar and started shaking violently. That is obviously my treasure. Luo Qing's desire to survive is very strong, and when he speaks, he immediately changed his words. They are all in the captain's room. Nami immediately relaxed, and changed someone else, and drank black tea very elegantly. But the clothes you bought and the other supplies on our ship are all gone. Oh, it doesn't matter, just buy it at the next place, and the supplies on this ship should be enough for more than 100 people, so don't worry at all. Luo Qing's face twitched. You don't care, but my welfare has sunk directly into the sea. When I want to come to Nami, I also understand the hidden meaning of his words, so I pretend to be so indifferent. Because Luo Qing saw a sly in her mouth while drinking black tea. This also makes Luo Qing even more hate the man with glasses who bad his good deeds. I knew I wouldn't let him die so easily. By the way, I also found this on the man with glasses. Luo Qing threw another record pointer to Nami. Nami took it and compared it with the pointer that the irritable woman gave them, and found that the two pointed in different directions. I just don't know where these two places are, so it's not easy to judge which route to take next. But it shouldn't make any difference which route she wants to take. The grumpy girl also counts on Luo Qing to help him find out where Ace is, so she shouldn't be tricky on it. And the man with glasses is sinister, he will never cheat himself. So decide, Captain. Which route shall we take next? Nami smiled and put the two record pointers on the table for him to choose. Luo Qing thought for a while, it's better to use the things you grabbed with peace of mind, just this. Although his logic makes people want to complain, Nami obviously won't question her captain in such indifferent things. A qualified navigator is to safely sail the ship no matter how dangerous the captain wants to go. Instead of yelling after the captain decides the destination, this is too dangerous to go, there is nothing there to go. If that's the case, what else would the navigator do? Just find a coward. After carefully closing the two record pointers, Nami put down the teacup all at once. Then start, my captain. ... Because there are only 3 people on board, Nami is also a navigator who specializes in observing the weather and adjusting the direction. So all the other work is on Luo Qing, the nominal captain, and Kirby, who is always stubborn. Thanks to his young age, he can do so much work. Called special training in Luo Qing Mei. Under the premise, Kirby, a child worker, had to accept his constant squeeze. Not to mention, under the wind and sun and the huge amount of labor these days, Kebi's muscles have clearly taken shape, and he seems to be a little taller. Even the appetite is several times larger than before. How to work without food. Right. In terms of food, Luo Qing has never treated him harshly, except for the few days when he ate oranges and fruits every day. www.mtlnovel.com. Even if it can't compare to the Navy's bug level food, it shouldn't be bad. Anyway, Luo Qing feels good about herself. After a series of chores such as cleaning the deck, tidying up the room, making drinks, cooking food, etc. Kebi was eating his own lunch. While listening to Nami's occasional shouts, he adjusted the direction of the boat. And Luo Qing and Nami are like a couple on a date, enjoying a nice lunch and red wine. The materials on the glasses man's boat have been so large that the 3 of them can use it casually. All kinds of meat and alcohol are specialties of the West Sea, which surprised Luo Qing and others who have not tried it. Then during this delicate dining time, Luo Qing suddenly heard Nami ask inadvertently. I went to the captain's room just now, why did it feel a bit wrong? What's wrong? Luo Qing looked blank. It seems that all the treasures on board our ship are piled up, and the treasures on the boat with glasses seem to be too few. At this point, the smile on Nami's face seemed to melt people. Luo Qing immediately buried his face in the plate with some guilty conscience. While chewing on the food, he said vaguely, maybe they are all used to buy ships and supplies. After all, it is impossible for every pirate group to have that money. It's not bad to have these windfalls. Oh, really? Nami stared at him scorchingly, as if trying to see him through. Feeling the fiery gaze on his head that can burn himself without paying attention, Luo Qing nodded firmly. Of course it is true. Will I still hide a part of it quietly? Ha ha, ha ha. Chapter 43, Fruit of Silence. Just as Luo Qing smiled and became more embarrassed, he suddenly heard Nami approaching his ear and said in a seductive tone, those beautiful clothes are all burned, what a pity, especially the black one. I like it so much. Luo Qing immediately raised his head and said firmly, when the next island arrives, I will accompany you to buy it. Do you have money? Why not? Don't we still have more than 100 million treasures in it? Luo Qing was taken aback. Then I heard Nami smile and say, did you give away all those treasures? Could it be that you still want to use my money to buy clothes for myself? Nami exclaimed, it was incredible. Luo Qing, who was put on a line by her logic, took a deep breath. Especially Nami's very pitiful expression at this time, so wrong that Luo Qing is seriously thinking about whether she is a bit too scumbag. If one day I can bring Nami back to Earth, there seems to be no pressure to sweep Oscars every year. It took a long time for Luo Qing to slow down, and then said with difficulty, "Why? I just remembered that I still have some money left here, which should be enough to buy you clothes." Dealing with a dramatist is really exhausting. Looking at the importance of Nami, and the effect that is indeed very seductive, Luo Qing chose not to be familiar with her. Can she still abscond with the money? It seems that she has a lot of previous convictions. Nami, who had won the battle this time, looked very happy, and rarely took the initiative to take over the job of steering, leaving Luo Qing and Kirby time for training. There is hardly any technical stuff. Luo Qing and Kirby are doing basic physical training. Luo Qing didn't panic because he had confidence in his heart, and arranged such training content for Kirby to lay a solid foundation for him. After all, whether it was high-end physical skills, such as Navy 6 forms, still find a potential devil fruit for Kirby, all need a strong body to support. Not to mention the high-end power of domineering. Everyone who can use domineering has gone through thousands of tempers, and got a huge breakthrough in spirit and body. Although I have no experience in teaching apprentices, and I don't know anything about it, I can't go wrong if I lay the foundation first. When there is a chance, you can also find the Navy 6 form for Kirby to practice. So the master and apprentice began to sweat on the deck. During this process, Luo Qing's thoughts, who kept repeating an action, did not know where he flew. He was considering whether to keep this new devil fruit for his own use, or simply give Nami or Kirby a little more self-protection ability. He can't always protect them. Just like this attack, it was because of his inflated intentions, but Nami and Kirby were taken hostages and he was restrained. It's just that the power of this devil fruit does not directly enhance their strength, but prefers assistance. Luo Qing probably has guessed the name of this fruit, and after reading the devil fruit illustration book, he also confirmed his conjecture. The fruit of silence is the brother of Brother Ming, Luo's benefactor, the spy sent by the Warring States period, and possesses the multi-identity Corazon's fruit ability. Unexpectedly, after Corazon was killed by Ming Jie, the devil fruit was reborn in the West Sea again, and was given by the man with glasses. The fruit of silence, as the name implies, is to create a position that can eliminate all sounds. Is very easy to use for assassination or infiltration, but it does not help much in frontal combat. The limitations of this fruit can be seen from Corazon's end and the failure of the man in glasses sneak attack. This is also one of the reasons why Luo Qing didn't want to give this fruit to Nami or Kirby. After all, Nami and Kirby are not as special as him, they can only eat a devil fruit, so the choice of this ability must be very careful, and it must fit their future style. From this, Luo Qing also thought of some abilities that are very suitable for Nami and Kirby, and his infinite gloves can collect the energy of the devil fruit spilled after the death of the capable person, and then recondensate. This also opened up Luo Qing's brain suddenly. He finally doesn't have to confine himself to collecting devil fruits that have not been eaten by anyone. As long as it is an ability he admires, as long as he kills the capable person, and then condenses it with infinite gloves before the energy escapes, he can get this devil fruit. And under Luo Qing's calculation, the speed of this spill is about 3 minutes after the death of the capable person. Sure enough, he still underestimated the ability of infinite gloves. I just don't know if this ability is built-in or a new ability derived after absorbing Heilushi. In short, since verifying this fact, Luo Qing has fallen into extreme excitement. There are so many capable people on the Great Route, and many of them are weak. Luo Qing is planning to pick some capable pirates to hunt. In this way, he can collect a lot of devil fruits. There is a lot of room for operation regarding ability matching. Can also find a reliable devil fruit for Nami and Kirby. Even if the three of them don't like the tasteless fruit of the devil, they can also be used to absorb and transform. Yu reading www.yuakanshu.com strengthens themselves. Is definitely waste utilization. Luo Qing was still worried that his body was not strong enough to accommodate the energy impact of the third devil fruit. Don't be afraid now. At that time, first use a few chicken rib fruits to strengthen your physical fitness, and then select a few powerful and cooperating fruits to inlay on the infinite glove. This is an invincible rhythm. Luo Qing fell into a happy YY. There is another reason why Luo Qing chose to leave this quiet fruit instead of directly absorbing and strengthening his body. That is the essence of the fruit of silence. What is the principle of sound transmission? Is vibration. The medium produces sound only when it vibrates. And the fruit of silence is not so much that the sound is changed, it is more that the force field it creates eliminates the vibration of all media. Without the vibration, naturally there would be no sound. After explaining this, did you think of something? That's right, the shaking fruit, which is reputed to have the ability to destroy the world, is likely to be defeated by this seemingly tasteless fruit of silence. One is to cause vibration, the other is to eliminate vibration. A relationship of natural restraint. Luo Qing keeping it is not about Whitebeard's thoughts. In fact, even if the current Whitebeard has been sick for a long time and has advanced age, I don't know how much his combat power has been reduced. But it is not something Luo Qing can challenge at this time, even with the restraint of the fruit of silence. It is not so much that the fruit of the shock has made Whitebeard's status today, it is more that this fruit bloomed in the hands of the already powerful Whitebeard with a shocking brilliance. Chapter 44, Sinful Blood. The power of the Whitebeard is not only reflected in the shaking fruit. Think about the idiot who is known as the Whitebeard too, but he is too strong to be considered to have the power of the Whitebeard when he was young, and even General Zephyr was cut off by him. Think about the Whitebeard who was 10,000 enemies when he was in the war. Dragged a broken body and punched the red dog in seconds, and the Blackbeard was crying and begging for mercy. Makes countless people excited about it. If it hadn't been for the Whitebeard at that time, he was tired of being struggling and wanted to pass his will to his sons, and wanted to completely end his decadent era. If Whitebeard wants to leave there, who can stop it? Luo Qing, who has seen this cartoon before, knows the horror of Whitebeard's vitality is different from the content after being harmonized in the animation. In the original comics, the head of the Whitebeard has been cut off by a half, and he still stands tall and straight to meet the repeated attacks of the powerful. There was an era called Whitebeard. In the last scene where Whitebeard died in battle, I don't know how many pirate fans' tears were earned. Luo Qing is no exception. So he kept this fruit not to deal with the Whitebeard, but to deal with the Blackbeard who might still the shocking fruit in the future. A careerist like Blackbeard is destined to become a blockade on Luo Qing's path forward, so he has to make some preparations in advance. If there is a chance, he can still grab the fruit of shock before Blackbeard. After all, it is not only his Blackbeard who possesses this ability, he can do it with the infinite gloves on his hand. Is only the future, no one can say it is bad. After all, after Luo Qing travels to this world, this is a real world that can be changed, not just living on a piece of paper. Even if Bybird personally blocks his way one day in the future, Luo Qing will not choose to retreat just because he once liked this character. Are you still coming one step later? Half a month after Luo Qing went to the Great Route, Carp arrived in the East China Sea on a warship loaded with the latest Navy technology. After some inquiries, I learned that the little boy who was followed by the warring states had disappeared, and it was speculated that he had already gone to the Great Route. I hope he still has justice in his heart. After sighing, Carp said goodbye to Smog and others and went to Windmill Village. Since the Sengoku period asked him to fail to do it well, he didn't worry anymore. Compared with these things, it is obvious that the grandson who is arguing about becoming One Piece all day makes him more headache. Next time I see red hair, I will definitely reward him with a few more shells. Carp, who was lucky enough to lead Luffy to the right path, estimated that Luffy would be mad again. Is really a journey where everything goes wrong. Okay, I know. I will send another person to follow up on this matter. If you want me to say you, just bring Luffy to the Navy headquarters. The atmosphere here can let him dispel the evil idea of being a pirate in his heart. Forget it, it's up to you. Come back as soon as the holiday is over. Recently, the New World is not peaceful again. In the office of the Marshal of the Navy headquarters, the warring states period hung up the phone with helpless expression. Still not enough manpower. Oh. The three generals who symbolize the highest combat power of the Navy are all sitting in the New World. From time to time, they have to wipe the buttocks of the Tianlong people who are often troublesome. They are so busy to die. The marshal of him is equivalent to being trapped here, facing countless documents every day, and he can't walk away at all. The old friend Crane is now busy chasing down a group of vicious new pirates in the New World. Even Carp, the idlest one, took time off and went home with his grandson. The recent troubles happened one after another, and Luo Qing, who could not determine the true source of his ability, fortunately, even if Carp didn't encounter it for the time being, there would not be much trouble. The most troublesome thing for the Warring States period is Portgas D. Ace, who has become famous as the captain of the Pirates of Spades and the natural devil fruit ability. The word, D, is really piercing, and his eyes hurt a bit. Just half a month ago, this Portgas D. Ace first saw Redhead Shanks, and then fought against the King Chihuahai Seaman, for 5 days, and finally won without distinction. Negative close. If it were only here, the Warring States would not be so impatient. But the development that followed was a bit unusual. This Portgas D. Ace then challenged Edward Whitebeard. Although he ended in failure, he did not know why he became the son of Whitebeard, and became the number 1 of the Whitebeard pirates. Captain of the second team. The Warring States suddenly couldn't sit still. These days, investigation reports about the name Portgas D. Ace flooded his office like a flood. And the final survey results also made the Sengoku complex look very ugly. This Portgas D. Ace is very likely to start the era of great navigation, the son of the last pirate king Roger. Portgas is the last name of Roger's wife, Portgas D. Luju. Carp is so hard to hide it from him. The blood of sin must be eliminated. The Warring States suddenly clenched his fists. Yu reading www.uakanshu.com is just okay if you know it earlier. Under the full encirclement of the Navy, Portgas D. Ace will perish. But now this sinful bloodline has joined the Whitebeard pirates and is protected by it, unless the Navy uses all its combat power to fight the Whitebeard pirates. Otherwise, it is impossible to hand over Ace with the character of Whitebeard guarding the shortness. Tricky. Furthermore, the Warring States period also suspected that Whitebeard had recognized Ace's identity, so he chose to asylum Roger's offspring, and things are going worse and worse. Come on. Yes, Marshal. Notify the Naval Intelligence Department to pay close attention to all the movements of the Whitebeard pirates. If Portgas D. Ace leaves the Whitebeard pirates, report it immediately. Yes. In addition, Colonel Tina was notified to suspend her investigation of the discovery of The Dancing Fan by Alabaston, and first search for news about the faceless pirate group at the entrance of the Great Sea Route. You can directly arrest after you find it. If you are not sure, let her contact me directly, and I will send reinforcements to help her. Remember, Captain Luo Qing cannot die, I want to live. Yes, Marshal. Chuan Lingbing immediately paid a military salute and turned and left. It's really eventful. The Warring States fed the report on the table to his beloved sheep. At the same time, the world government that also received the news also made new moves. CP, the secret spy agency directly under the world government, has also begun to pay close attention to these two things. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel Chapter 45, Shokugeki. During the voyage for nearly half a month, Luo Qing and his team have experienced basketball hail, green acid rain that can completely corrode clothing and other fiber items, and suddenly jumped out of the sea to swallow their entire ship. Aquaman. After overcoming all kinds of hardships, Luo Qing and the 3 people finally came to their first destination with a clear understanding of the unpredictable weather and ocean currents of the Great Route. Shiji Island, which has the title of Country of Food. It seems that the record pointer obtained from the Spectacle Man does not point to the route that Lu Fei traveled. After disembarking, Luo Qing looked around excitedly. Navy, pirates, civilians, wealthy merchants, nobles. If you didn't see it with your own eyes, it would be hard to believe that these people didn't fight together when they got together. Even Luo Qing saw 2 giants sitting on the ground fighting wine. What the is going on? And just as Luo Qing took Nami and Kirby here in a daze, obviously many people noticed them. Especially those girls who are still single, blushing when they look at them. Makes many big guys around who think they are powerful but lose their faces very upset. Cursed in their own heart one after another, little white face. Yeah, many girls are staring at you, Captain. Nami deliberately stretched the tone to play with Luo Qing. Hehe, how can it be? Luo Qing immediately gave a dry laugh, and then hurriedly said, okay, hurry up, there is still a lot to do. Excited Kirby immediately followed. There are countless ships at the port here, and even warships can be seen. When stopping the ship to pay the management fee, Luo Qing had already inquired some news. It turns out that this is the site of the 4 emperors with red hair. Strictly speaking, red hair does not have a fixed site, but there are really many islands protected by his name. This is one of the islands where famous chefs from all over the world compete in culinary skills. The pirates who come and go here are generally newcomers to the Great Sea Route for the first time, or losers who are eliminated by the Great Sea Route. The name of the 4 emperors' red hair played a role here is self-evident. No pirate dared to run wild here. And because almost the world's most famous chefs gathered here, it also attracted many wealthy businessmen and nobles to taste the food. Even the navy stationed near here often visits. Because the war here will affect a large number of powerful people, the navy here has never done anything on this island. As for what will happen after going to sea, it is hard to say. Is also because of this tacit understanding, which led to the exceptional prosperity of this island. After paying sufficient management fees, their ships will naturally be looked after by someone who will not cause any problems. After randomly looking for a nymphomaniac sister and inquiring about the news, Luo Qing led the people away, leaving only a red-faced husband stone in place. So no matter where you grow handsome, there is still an advantage. Before the journey, Luo Qing met with a starting point author called Faceless by chance. It is a pity not to be a celebrity with such a handsome degree. He can definitely rely on his face to eat, but he has to fight for talent. This perseverance allowed Luo Qing to reward him with a golden league, showing his support. It smells so good. Nami took a deep breath. Walking on the street, there is a drooling fragrance everywhere. If a patient with choice phobia comes here, it is estimated that he will immediately blew himself up. Which one shall we eat first? Nami asked. And Luo Qing was also aroused by the charming mixed fragrance at this time, so he waved his hand generously. Today's goal is to finish this street. The first one, let's go. Oh yeah. Kebi and Nami jumped up excitedly, knowing that in order to force Luo Qing to spit out the private money he hid, before disembarking, Nami did not allow him to take a penny from the boat. In other words, Luo Qing will pay for the consumption on this island. Fortunately, the man in glasses really did not fish the side door before entering the Great Route. The treasures Luo Qing hid secretly were not what Nami had imagined. So, sprinkle water. As the saying goes, I don't panic when I have money in my hands. Under Luo Qing's connivance, a legend about the big stomach king suddenly appeared on this street. Delicious. Nami, try this, you can swallow your tongue tender. Boss. Here are 10 more tender duck tongues with green onions. Okay. The 2nd. The 5th. The 10th. Since coming to this world and getting stronger, Luo Qing has already said goodbye to ordinary people. In the world of pirates, those who can eat are not necessarily strong, but the strong must be very edible. Otherwise, it will not be able to support that powerful body. And Luo Qing's honey badger fruit is also famous for being edible in the animal world, and it is still cold. Under such influence, it evolved from a 3-person competition, and finally evolved into a one-man show by Luo Qing. Nami and Kirby, a woman and a child, where is his opponent? When they walked into the 11th restaurant, Nami and Kirby leaned on the wall, resisting the feeling of vomiting out and bluntly said, No. I can't eat anymore. Me too. I will spit it out after eating. Luo Qing touched her stomach after hearing the words, www.mtlnovel.com, felt that she could actually eat, but these two scrappers. You guys are ashamed, and you have said that you will eat the whole street. This is less than 1/3 of the way, and I don't know how many top foods are waiting for us. Said so, but seeing Nami and Kirby's harmonious soul posture that needs to be moved by holding on to the wall, Luo Qing had no choice but to continue. The first attrition of the faceless pirates can't be because of being crushed to death. That's too funny. But when Luo Qing was about to take someone back, one person suddenly walked out of the shop where the 3 of them stopped. Guest, I'm sorry to disturb you. There are 2 4-star chefs who are about to have a halberd showdown. Can you invite the 3 of you as judges? Of course, I won't delay the time of the 3 in vain. After the duel, I will give each person a meal coupon of 100,000 berry as a compensation. Food halberd showdown. Luo Qing's eyes lit up. Interesting. He was wondering if the food halberd in this gourmet island and the food halberd in the aphrodisiac spirit he had seen mean the same thing, and he caught up with such a good show. And he is still a 4-star chef. This must be agreed. Chapter 46. The 1.2-meter little Lolita chef. The halberd showdown on the island of Halberd is the most sacred way of communication between chefs. Perform a chef assessment on this island, and after passing it, you can get a star medal, which means that you have become a 1-star chef certified by Shiji Island. Then the chefs with the same number of star medals will compete again with the halberd. The winner will get a star medal from the opponent to be promoted to a higher chef, and the loser will be demoted. The judging standard is an odd number of tourists randomly selected after the duel is established as judges, with a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 5. Also, because of this rule in the initial period of time, some people took advantage of the loopholes, hired people to brush stars and medals, bought out the judges, or simply found a bunch of their own people to wander around the location of the halberd showdown. But then the founder of Shiji Island filled these loopholes. First of all chefs who have obtained 3-star or higher certification must accept the official assessment of Shiji Island to prove their strength. If you find that your cooking skills are inconsistent with the chef's level, you will directly deprive him of all star medals and be permanently blacklisted on the island. If a chef is included in this blacklist, there will hardly be any high-end restaurant still using this chef. In one fell swoop, the vast majority of people who used to recharge their numbers and exploit loopholes in the rules were eliminated. Secondly, the judges must be randomly selected by the official of Shiji Island. Unless someone can replace the hundreds of thousands of tourists who come and go in and out of Shiji Island every day with his own people, it will be difficult to change the person they find among the judges. Because it is a temporary selection of tourists before the Shiji duel, there is no chance to buy the judges with this time. Even if the judges I happen to find are someone I know, the official assessment of Shiji Island is not vegetarian. The more star medals, the harder the assessment will be. After reading the rules of the halberd showdown presented by the man who brought them in, Luo Qing and the trio became more and more curious about the next halberd showdown. It seems that even though the form is different, the content still follows the same concept. This is a frontal fight between chefs. And because even the judges are randomly selected temporarily, and everyone's tastes are different. Some people like to eat sweet, some like spicy. This also examines the chef's observation ability and on-the-spot ability. Of course, there is also a certain degree of luck. But no matter what industry, luck is an essential element, so there is nothing unfair. This island is really interesting. Even Nami and Kirby, who had already shouted that they could no longer eat anything, couldn't help but look forward to it. You must know that after so many years, excluding 3 6-star chefs who are already legendary, there are only 11 5-star chefs certified by Shijidao. There are no 2 brushes for a chef who can achieve 3-star certification. If it were not for the certainty of victory, I would definitely not initiate a halberd showdown. The necessary condition for the establishment of a halberd showdown is a voluntary showdown between both parties. This makes high-level certified chefs increasingly rare. It's not easy for anyone to get to this point. Naturally, they need to cherish their feathers. Today, under the witness of Luo Qing and the 3 people, it is very likely that the 12th 5-star chef will be born, provided that the winner can pass the official assessment of Shiji Island and obtain the final certification. Are you all clear about today's rules? After the duel, the 3 must not exchange opinions with each other. Whether it is delicious or not must be judged by your heart, and don't affect other people's decisions. Luo Qing and the 3 nodded excitedly. The person who selected them as the judge is the referee sent by Shijidao to preside over this duel. Everything must be as fair and just as possible. And he chose the Luo Qing trio because they have been observing them for a while. And it will definitely not be the trust that the 2 sides of today's duel found. Is definitely in line with the theme of today's 2 4-star chefs duel in terms of difficulty, a very edible youth, as well as women and children. Even women and children are already in a super full state. Under this difficult situation, what kind of problem-solving dishes the 2 4-star chefs will make will be the biggest attraction. After all, when people are full, no matter how delicious they are, they will feel average, and even feel sick. It is necessary to take care of the tastes of the three types of people, but also to face the fullness of the judges. The duel under this difficulty is wonderful. After quickly cleared the venue, the two four-star chefs of this confrontation finally showed up. The one on the left of the judges' bench is a standard chef, with a round face, a short and thick neck, and a very full body, with calluses on the palms inadvertently exposed. Although his face has always been very rich with a smile on his face, that confidence is definitely not a pretense. And the chef who came out on the right made the three of Luo Qing stunned, a little bit confused. Is that a cute little loli like a porcelain doll? Is this 1 meter too tall? Luo Qing and Nami looked at each other, and then looked at Kirby without a trace. It seemed that they were almost taller on one side. This 4-star showdown that I've been waiting for a long time, www.mtlnovel.com, will actually be a little loli who is not as high as the stovetop against a miracle Buddha. This is too much of a piece. But there are indeed 4 pure gold star medals hanging on Lolita's clothes. The two sides of the Shiji duel are the 4-star chef Guo Han from Luzonglo, and the star contestant from Shiji Island is also the 4-star chef Sinyu of the Bear House. The theme of this halberd showdown is collocation. The ingredients used by the chefs of both sides are officially provided by Shiji Island. There are a total of 12 different types of ingredients. At least 8 of them must be used in the cooking process to qualify for the judge's taste. How to perfect the various attributes and even opposing ingredients, and then match them together depends on the skill of the two chefs. In addition, the amount of ingredients used will also be one of the final points of reference for the judges. Please be careful with the two chefs. Speaking of this, Luo Qing and the three instinctively glanced at the rich ingredients behind them. Most of them don't know how to break. Is it possible that after a while after eating, the comment can only say, well, yes, it melts in the mouth, sweet and soft. This has almost become a standard formula for food evaluation. Melancholy. In addition, with the approval of both parties, additional betting conditions have been added to this match. After Chef Guo Han won, Chef Sinyu volunteered to become his slave. If Chef Sinyu wins, Chef Guo Han voluntarily enters the official blacklist of Shiji Island and loses his qualification as a chef forever. Now I announce, the Halberd Showdown, start. Chapter 47. Damn Lo ICN. There is this kind of operation. Luo Qing's faces are full of question marks. It turned out that before the Halberd Showdown, the betting conditions can be added, as long as both parties agree. I thought this was just a normal Halberd Showdown between exciting 4-star chefs. Didn't expect that these two people would have such a deep hatred. If one wins, he wants the other party to be a slave. If one wins, he simply deprives the other party of his cook status. This fat man is too damnable. Luo Qing took his stand all at once, and Lorikong should die. How can such a cute little loli be a slave to this fat pig? Even if you want to be it, give it to him. Ahem. What he meant was that this dead pig would never win. His vote should be stable. In addition, Nami and Kirby shouldn't be able to watch the little loli like a porcelain doll being taken away by the pig. Then all kinds of indescribable every night. But what if the disparity is really too big and caught by the referee? Then you can only grab it. Luo Qing, who said, Lo ICN is going to die, immediately made up his mind. After the duel began, Luo Qing has already been scolded in his heart by Luo Qing. I don't know how many times the fat pig, Lo ICN's chef, Guo Han, is starting his performance in a dazzling manner. The meat of unknown animals, weird vegetables, mushrooms that can scream, and the eyeballs of sea kings that are bigger than people. All the ingredients seem to have life in Guo Han's hands. It is obviously just a fat pig with low ICN. It's strange that cooking is so attractive. On the other hand, little Lori Snow was squatting quietly on the ground, not knowing what she was doing. Is it counting ants? With the passage of time, there has been a clear fragrance from Guohan. This tempting fragrance of crime even made Nami and Kebi, who had been resting for a while, swallowed their saliva. Luo Qing became more and more worried for little Lori. Then she saw that little Lori had brought a stool that was more than half a meter high, and hummed and climbed up. Puff. Luo Qing and the three really couldn't hold back. This scene is so funny. You have to stand on a stool to get to something. Little sister, are you sure you are not here to make fun? These 4-star medals are not all the shady scenes caused by the judges who are looking for because they like this little loli too much, right? What about the official assessment? After hearing the laughter of Luo Qing and others, little Lori gave him a fierce look. But with that cute dress and cute temperament, it is really not lethal. Luo Qing even thought that she must have such a lovely daughter in the future. It was really healing. Thinking about it, he secretly glanced at Nami. Ah, Nami looks like the figure of a son. At this moment, the little Lolita who finally stood firm also started her own cooking, as if she changed a person in an instant. An unusual aura suddenly burst out. Even the fat man Guo Hun couldn't help but glance over there. Boom! Little Lolita raised an iron pan larger than her whole body and started to stir quickly. Flames are rising from the sky. Luo Qing and the three of them were dumbfounded right away. Just these small arms and legs, where's the strength? But looking at this momentum, it seems that she really won these 4-star medals with her strength. Because there are too many ingredients to be processed, so this wait is more than an hour. When little Lolita climbed down from the stool with difficulty, Luo Qing couldn't help but laughed again. What awaits him is naturally little Lori's innocent white eyes. The cooking time is over. The chefs of both parties are invited to present their own dishes. Then I will come first. Fatty Fruit Hun took the lead in bringing up his own dishes. He had already noticed the abnormalities of Nami and Kirby. Although they had been digested for more than an hour, they should still be inert to food in general. And after eating his dish, the other party will feel more full. So eating first has a certain advantage. It is a matter of life and wealth, and Guo Hun dare not pretend to be generous. Luo Qing first glanced at little Lori before opening the lid. He was very curious about the other party's attitude, whether it was angry or indifferent or full of confidence in himself. Then he saw little Lolita hiding far away, took a little bear from her chest and lit a cigarette. Wow! Don't mention how much impact this scene has on Luo Qing. Good little Loli still learns to smoke. If my lord can't beat you to death. Luo Qing was stunned for a while before barely regaining his senses, and then uncovered the lid in front of him. An unscented scent is bombarding his sense of smell. Hasn't eaten yet, Luo Qing feels that little Lolita has lost what is going on. Seeing Kebi and Nami couldn't help moving their chopsticks, Luo Qing did not hesitate anymore, picking up a mountain and threw it into his mouth. Woo! Too delicious. Is really the entrance. Don't enter. After all, Luo Qing did not come up with any suitable adjectives after searching his poor dictionary. There is only one delicious. Unexpectedly, this fat man really had 2 times. Yu reading www.yuakanshu.com. Luo Qinggao glanced at him. A whole 12 kinds of ingredients were used by the other party, and after special treatment, they were carved into a continuous mountain. These 12 large and small mountains are made of those 12 ingredients. As the order of tasting is different, the various combinations of ingredients are also vividly reflected, and the sense of hierarchy is full. Unknowingly, this impressive 12 ways of peak flavor was eaten up by the 3 of Luo Qing. After eating, Luo Qing still has some thoughts. It is estimated that Sanji's strength is at most here. It is a worthwhile trip. After the matter, he also glanced at little Lori with regretful eyes. If such a delicious thing is ignorant of conscience, it seems a bit disrespectful. After seeing the satisfied expression of Luo Qing and the 3 of them eating all the 12 mountains on the plate, Guo Runyan laughed, and I finally got what I wanted. Let's ask Chef Sinew to present the dishes. Little Lolita put out her cigarette butts with her pink shoes expressionlessly, and then delivered 3 plates with lids. Luo Qing and the 3 people could not wait to open the lid, and then they were all dumbfounded. I said, little sister, I think you have been busy for a long time, but you just got 3 beans. Are you kidding me? Then he heard little Lori open her cute mouth. Little sister. You are the little sister, and your whole family are all little sisters. My old lady is 25 years old this year, and I am blinded by your dog. Ah. The whole audience was silent, and it seemed that everyone was released by the Empress' petrified light. Chapter 48. Abduction. Little Loli. Yes, exactly. This is my favorite Sinew. Lori's body and mature soul are really awesome. When little Lolita yelled at her with that delicate voice, Guo Hun was already shaking with excitement. And Luo Qing and the three people barely retreated from the petrified state, and then began to look at the cute loli in front of them again with strange faces. What do you look at? I was smiling very happy just now. My cooking is this bean, I love to eat it or not, my old lady will not serve it. After finished speaking, little Lori took out the cigarette case from her bear's pocket expressionlessly again. After finding that it had been exhausted, he immediately grabbed it and threw it under his feet. Luo Qing blankly took out a box of special cigarettes from the great airway and handed it over. Then he saw little Lolita's eyes lit up and took it over. Forget it. Hurry up and eat it, I guarantee it is a delicious dish you have never tasted before. After finishing talking, little Lolita hid aside happily. Then, eat it and see. Luo Qing directly picked up this plain green peas and threw it into his mouth. Nami and Kebi also learned a lot. Even if the dish just now made them full again, what does one green peas have? Can't eat. But at the moment when Aomame was bitten by their teeth, the ever-changing fragrance bursts instantly. Everyone kept chewing on this green peas with an expression like a ghost. Why do you have so many different flavors in this little bean? There is the glutinous fragrance of meat, the fragrance of vegetables, the sweetness of fruits, the firmness of fish, and the crisp taste. What is going on with the constant change? Is just a bean the size of a finger, which actually makes Luo Qing and the three people fall into endless aftertastes. It seems that with every bite, a different fragrance spreads to the taste buds. Is really an amazing dish. And unlike the 12 peak flavor, just now, in this small bean, almost all of these 12 ingredients are integrated without any conflict. Make a judgment. After chewing for 5 minutes, Luo Qing swallowed it reluctantly until he had experienced every taste. Okay. The judges' tasting session is over. Next, please 3 judges choose today's winner. 3, 2, 1. Without hesitation, Luo Qing and the 3 of them all pointed to the little Lolita who was smoking. And little Lolita seems not surprised by this result. Instead, Guohun blushed and shouted, I'm not convinced. You can act like this for a small bean. Where did you find the 3 actors? Fortunately, I had expected this situation a long time ago, and I left one for you there. I quickly ate and disappeared from my eyes. Little Lori pointed to her impatiently. The unbelieving fruit hung directly through the bean into his mouth and started chewing, and then there was a silence of 5 minutes. I lost. For a long time, Guohun fell on her knees as if she had lost her soul. The assessment will start in 3 days, right? Little Lolita flung her cigarette and slapped her double ponytail handsomely. Yes, it is. Well, I will be there on time in 3 days, can I go? Okay. The referee wiped his cold sweat and glanced sympathetically at Guo Chan, who fell on his knees indesperately. The dignified 4-star chef, wasted. Then he saw Luo Qing chasing people quickly. Don't you need your meal coupons? You can use it at any restaurant on this island. Shoo. Nami, who ran not far away, turned around and rushed back. Then don't get it quickly. Oh. Nami snatched 300,000 Bailey's meal coupons, and then chased them out like the wind. Only the referee with a bewildered look is messy in the wind. Wait a minute. I ate my food for nothing, what happened to your pack of cigarettes? Little Lolita looked impatiently at Luo Qing and others who were catching up. This little loli is still cute when she doesn't speak. After this thought arose in his mind, he couldn't help but curiously asked, how did you make the dish just now? How can such a small bean contain 12 ingredients? Even if it is stuffed. The scum can't be so delicious in it. Little Lolita's addiction to cigarettes didn't know how it was so big, she didn't say a few words, and started smoking again. It's okay to tell you, I am a mini fruit-capable person, I can make everything I touch smaller, so don't look at that bean so small, I don't know how many things are in it. The volume becomes smaller, but the taste and characteristics of the ingredients will not change. Now you know the secret of that dish. Luo Qing suddenly realized, and then looked at little Lori with scorching eyes, but she did not expect that she was still a demon fruit-capable person. By the way, is it not a foul to use the power of devil fruit to cook? Little Lolita immediately looked at him like a fool. www.mtlnovel.com. Could it be that when you are fighting with someone, if the other party doesn't let you use the devil fruit ability, you don't need it? Quote. This is also true. Anyway, this is a world that cannot be speculated by common sense. Since there is something like a devil fruit, you can use it whatever you want. If you are not convinced, you can also find a devil fruit to eat. If you don't use it because the other party doesn't have one, how stupid it is. That fat man didn't lose in justice. Is there anything else? I'm going back for business. Then Luo Qing said very seriously, go out to sea with me. I still lack one of the best chefs in the world on board. No, thank you for the cigarette. Little Lolita waved away directly. Yeah, our captain was rejected. Nami tossed around with the stack of meal coupons, while gloating at Luo Qing. It seems that being handsome is not very useful. Luo Qing's old face is a bit unbearable. I just think Keb has no talent in cooking. Don't tell me that after eating these two dishes, you can still tolerate eating half-baked barbecue every day. Obviously they are all familiar. Kirby argued loudly, blushing. Yes, can you be unfamiliar if they are baked? Luo Qing said casually. Nami is indeed like this. I am afraid of comparison in everything. During the days when I eat fruits every day, I feel very happy to be able to eat hot barbecue. But after coming here, especially after enjoying 2 4-star chef's dishes, Kirby's level is simply horrible. So, this is the reason you want to kidnap Lori. Nami smiled and looked at Luo Qing. Chapter 49. Nami's Model Show. Hee. Luo Qinggan laughed, and then immediately said, how is it possible? I only value her cooking skills, let alone you don't want to eat her dishes every day. What kind of loli is she? I didn't hear her saying that she is 25 years old. Still a smoker who can explode. It looks like a loli on the outside, but there is a shrew in my heart. How can our little Nami be cute? Luo Qing's desire to survive is extremely strong. Anyway, Lori Snow has already gone far, so she is not afraid of hearing it. It's just that Nami is so cheating. Oh, is that right? Nami put her arms on her chest and stared at him with a smile, always giving Luo Qing the illusion of being seen through. After turning his gaze away with a slight guilty conscience, Luo Qing continued to insist, of course. Otherwise, what else can I have? After I got here, I decided to abduct a cook on the boat. The little kid named Sinew just now was nothing. It's just to be determined. Well, I believe you once. If you behave well next, how about I will accompany you to persuade that little loli tomorrow? Next. What are you going to do? Of course. Nami's little eyes started to flicker again. Before the sun went down, Luo Qingkebi was overwhelmed with shopping bags. Empty-handed Nami walked in front of her, humming a little song from her hometown. She seemed to be in a good mood. Hey, hurry up. It's dark. While walking, Nami didn't forget to turn her head and urge the two followers. Luo Qing and Kirby looked at each other bitterly. They could only hum quickly to keep up. These things are Nami's next actions. Almost all of them are all kinds of clothes and some fun and beautiful accessories to pay tribute to the burnt down on the ship. It was obvious that Luo Qing could put everything away only by finding a corner with no one, but Nami severely stopped his behavior. In her original words, these are my personal belongings. What if you deliberately keep a few of them and don't take them out? When she said this, Nami looked at his eyes with disgust, as if he would definitely do it, and would do something worse. So Luo Qing, who was very speechless, joined the coolie lineup. Fortunately, these clothes were not heavy, but they looked scary. I don't know how many people are looking at me along the way. Nami seems to enjoy such enviable eyes. After finally returning to the boat, Kirby waited directly on the deck to look at the corpse. For the first time, he knew that shopping was such a painful thing. He would rather double the amount of usual exercise or simply stay on the boat to watch the boat. Experience such a journey to hell. Kirby, move things to my room quickly. Nami Zhao's voice made Kirby shiver suddenly, and then quickly got up and said, I'll be here soon. In his young mind, Nami at this time has surpassed his teacher Luo Qing and became the person he feared most on this ship. After Kirby brought everything in, he was directly driven away by his respected teacher. Then he listened to Luo Qing, who was still here with a dead skin, said happily, Nami, do you think it's time to honor the promise? Among the many clothes I bought today, Although there are no two straps, there is no lack of exciting. A touch of red quietly climbed onto Nami's cheek, and it looked very beautiful under the white moonlight of the window. Really want to see. Luo Qing's head is almost on the ground. Then he saw Nami picking up 2 bags and walking into the bathroom. Before closing the door, she gave him a vicious look. No peeking. After waiting for so long, I finally waited. The fatigue of the day disappeared instantly, only excitement was left. After waiting for half an hour, Nami walked out of the bathroom with a slight twist. For the next second, Luo Qing was stunned and touched his hot nose subconsciously. Okay. With the help of moonlight Luo Qing, you can enjoy the beautiful scenery in front of you. The cover with less fabric than usual, almost half of its roundness is exposed to the air, and the white suspender stockings underneath are pure and seductive. Luo Qing is really dumbfounded. Is such a fairy when he is only 16 years old. I am really looking forward to it more and more. Have you seen enough? Nami asked, shyly. Luo Qing directly shook his head into a rattle. Want to see anything else? This is also a problem. Fools don't want to see it. Seeing Luo Qing nodded frantically, Nami suddenly revealed the fox tail. 810 million berry, do you still want to see it? Luo Qing was dumbfounded immediately. Is there such an operation? Then he was caught in the struggle between upper body thinking and lower body thinking. Just when he was struggling with his expression, he suddenly heard Nami's shy face and said, there are a few more shameful clothes, I'm really embarrassed to wear them to others. Deal. Luo Qing made a decision immediately. Money can think of another way, www.mtlnovel.com, but the chance is only this time. The corners of Nami's mouth that was hidden under the palm of her hand turned up immediately, and she didn't believe you weren't hooked. So she took the clothes and walked into the bathroom again. More than half an hour later, Luo Qing walked out of Nami's room with a pained expression on his face. There was a bright laugh from Nami. Guests go slowly, be sure to bring more money next time. Sorry, it's the feeling of myocardial infarction. Luo Qing suddenly covered his left chest, it hurts. This bit of private money that I had worked so hard to hide was taken out after just watching a model show. This time I really want to eat dirt. But after a little aftertaste of the scene just now, he felt that his chest didn't seem to hurt so much. Sailor suit, dead water, low-cut evening dress with naked back, a dress with slits to the waist. If you dream tonight, you will wake up with a smile. Hee. Luo Qing returned to the room with a satisfied expression. I don't know that at this time, Nami, who has always been known for her boldness, is blushing, hugging her pillow and rolling back and forth on the bed. She likes money, but the model show, just now was really just to get out of Luo Qing's small vault. A woman is a person who pleases herself, this sentence is never just a word. If a woman has always been razor sharp in front of you, no matter what kind of flaws are not afraid to be exposed to you, then there are only 2 situations. Either she has been married for many years, or she doesn't treat you as a man at all. So this night, Nami is destined to sleepless. Chapter 50. Sunscreen. After getting up the next day, Luo Qing first checked the sheets with a guilty conscience, and he was relieved to find that he did not see any strange traces that could not be told to others. After all, I just watched a model show last night, and I dreamed that some weird things were said in the past. The dream I just had was a bit too exciting and fragrant, and it was still vivid in retrospect. It took Luo Qing to calm down for a while before putting the little brother who insisted on standing guard into his pants. Naked sleeping is one of Luo Qing's hobbies, and it is a favorite of spring, summer, autumn and winter. Morning, Nami. When Luo Qing walked out refreshedly, she saw Nami wearing sunglasses, lying lazily on a sun lounger, sunbathing. Generally, in this situation, a gentleman should ask the lady if she needs help applying sunscreen. Then, need help. Beautiful lady. Although Luo Qing's dress is very decent, but Nami, who has already seen him, clearly doesn't know what is thinking in his head. But after rewarding him with a big white eye, there are sunglasses blocked, Luo Qing can't see it. Nami actually turned over and fell on her stomach. Now it was Luo Qing's turn to be stunned. It's unscientific. Every time he said this, he waited for him either with his eyes or with contempt. So there must be some conspiracy in this. Luo Qing suddenly hesitated. Hurry up, don't you have to go to the chef later? Nami's tone is the same as usual, except that in a place where Luo Qing can't see, Nami is biting her lip, panicking a group. She doesn't know what's wrong with herself, but she is getting used to getting along very well. Is very relaxed and happy, there is no mess, no need to live in worry and stress every day. Although this guy has a lot of sex, he never hides it, never forces her to do unwilling things, and even says that Luo Qing respects her very much in a sense. Isn't this kind of life that I don't have to force myself exactly what I want? Freedom and treasure, beautiful clothes to wear, let go to drink if you want to drink, and buy delicious food if you want. Huh, how come this guy hasn't moved yet? Obviously, he has given him such a good opportunity. Nami, who fell into a certain thought, glanced back strangely. Then he heard him say, I really have no money, I swear. Nami was so angry in her heart. This bastard. I am the kind of woman who wants money. Luo Qing, if not, give me back the more than 100 million treasures taken from me last night. So Nami looked bad and shouted, hurry up and help me paint. Looking at Nami's smooth back, Luo Qing swallowed quietly, but he still couldn't help adding, say it first, I really have no money. Nami is about to get up and beat him up. But at this time Luo Qing has reached out to untie the belt behind her hood. Nami, who was almost completely seen, screamed and quickly squatted back. Asshole. Do you want to die? Misunderstanding, misunderstanding. After a quarrel, Luo Qing's hand finally touched Nami's skin. The two trembled at the same time, showing the unrest in their hearts. Nami's skin can be described as radiant and breakable. I really don't understand how she has been taking care of it since she was so young. There is no trace of wind and sun. In the end, Luo Qing can only be classified as special in pirate world, maybe this is the privilege of beautiful women. 10 minutes later, Luo Qing took up his hand with some dismay. Done. Okay. Nami just whispered, her entire face buried in her arms, and she didn't dare to look up. While Luo Qing was helping her apply sunscreen, there was an electric current running through her body constantly, and her heartbeat was frightening. Now, even without looking in the mirror, Nami knows that her face is absolutely red. Why is this happening? Nami doesn't know how many times she has asked herself this way. I don't know when Luo Qing also wandered down on the sun lounger next to him. In such a good weather, the two of them were sunbathing peacefully and warmly together. There was also some pink smell that made each person unable to speak. Beautiful. Kirby, who is mopping the floor, has a crying face. I don't envy it at all. A good morning was spent in lazy sunbathing. When the three of them came to this island again, they all returned to normal. Through the inquired news, if we want to set sail again, we have to wait until the recording pointer is full of magnetic storage. But the two we have are permanent pointers, and we still need to buy new ones. Nami did not forget her responsibilities. Luo Qing also nodded. He knows more basic information about the Great Route than Nami, but naturally he still has to leave it to Nami for professionalism. But he doesn't want to follow this route to the next island. Yu read www. Yuakanshu. Compared with exploring and adventuring these things, the current priority for Calm is to strengthen its strength to deal with various crises that may arise in the future. As long as you have enough strength, you can go anywhere in this world. So at this time Luo Qing already has his first goal. The record pointer wants to buy, but we don't go to the next island to point to, let's go to Alabaston. Alabaston. Nami was taken aback. Yes, I need to improve my strength as soon as possible, so Alabaston must go. Luo Qing's tone was firm. What's in Alabaston? There are deserts, dancing fans, revolutionary army, Chiwu Sea sand crocodile, Robin. Luo Qing went for Robin. He does not deny that he has the idea of abducting Robin aboard the boat. After all, he has traveled to the world of One Piece. If he does not take Robin aboard, the readers will definitely explode in place. When Luo Qing was on the Earth, he also read some pirate fan arts. Under the comments, a group of people shouted the slogan, "No Robin, no pirate," and what's more, when he counted down Robin's various advantages, it seems that there is no better candidate to be a wife than Robin. Luo Qing admits that he likes both Nami and Robin very much, but he is not sure if he can also abduct Robin on the boat. After all, Crocodile's strength is definitely not as unbearable as it was when he played against Luffy. In his own desert home court, Crocodile, who had become Chihuahua early because of his powerful strength, was not so much lost to Luffy, but rather to the protagonist Halo. So in fact, the main reason why Luo Qingfei wanted to go to Alabastan was to spot the devil fruit ability under Crocodile. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel Chapter 51, Dual Personality. Although in Luo Qing's memory, he can't remember who was in the Baroque work agency that Shaw Crocodile founded, but those who may be more impressed. But the only thing he can be sure of is that all the senior agents in the Baroque work agency are all capable people. And Luo Qing is now in short supply of a large number of devil fruits to enhance his abilities. In addition, the strength of the senior agent ability of the Baroque work agency is within his range, so there is no better, leveling location, than that. If even Crocodile can be killed in the end, the rustling fruit is likely to become the first natural devil fruit. Luo Qing came to the world of One Piece. And then take Robin aboard. Thinking about it, Luo Qing almost slobbered. I don't know why I have to go there, but since the captain has spoken. Nami gave a little arrogant look, she looked very cute. Now that the captain and the navigator have been determined, Kirby, who is a handyman, naturally has no opinion, or no one listens to any opinions. Who made him stand on such an irresponsible teacher? Then hurry up and get the business done first. First get the chef's work done and then start to inquire about the news of Alabastan. It is best to get a permanent pointer for Alabastan. Little Lolita is so good. Nami squinted at him with her slanted eyes. Luo Qing didn't hear it anymore. What kind of loli or not, he is that kind of person. Next, Luo Qing and the three people began to walk around while inquiring about little Lori Snow. Don't say, on this Halberd Island, Lori Snow really has a lot of fame. After all, with that petite body and appearance, being able to rise to a 4-star chef is not an ordinary eye-catcher, not to mention that Lori is about to reach 5 stars. So, after Luo Qing betrayed his hue, for a while, in the gaze of a group of little girls full of little stars, they finally found out the location of little Loli's store. 10 minutes later. Right here. If what she said is true, I don't understand why she is so immersed in Loli's character that she can't extricate herself. Perhaps a special hobby. Luo Qing and Nami each made complaints, and took Kirby into this childlike dessert shop. It's hard to imagine that there is a 25-year-old old woman, who likes to swear and smoke will insist on dressing in a small Loli style and open a dessert shop that children like very much. Is it split personality? Welcome. As soon as I entered the door, I heard the laughter of the children, and the cute and adorable Lori voice. This is the same snooty that one bite of an old mother before. Luo Qing and the three of them immediately looked at her with weird faces. What are you doing here? Little Lori Snow dressed up in a princess dress looked very surprised today. Then just when Luo Qing was about to speak, she interrupted. It's not a place to talk outside, come in with me. Children, Sister Sinew is going to prepare some delicious snacks for everyone must be obedient. Good. Followed Sinew to the back room with a stupid expression. Luo Qing's stomach vomited out of nowhere, as uncomfortable as if he had eaten a fly. Let's talk about it, what are you looking for? If you still let me go out to sea with you, you don't need to mention it. As soon as she left the children's sight, little Lolita recovered her nature, took out a pack of cigarettes from her body with great skill, and then lit it with delight. So where does this princess dress without even pockets hide the cigarettes? Luo Qing subconsciously swept over the A in front of little Lolita. Well, I'm sorry. I don't want my eyeballs anymore, right? Little Lori seems to have blown up her hair, she is sensitive enough. I said you wouldn't be spiritually divided, harmonious, right? Luo Qing looked at her strangely. Do you mean those little kids outside? Little Lori took a deep breath of cigarette and slumped on the chair, looking like a ghost. I thought you were so different because you liked children. Now it seems that I misunderstood. There are 3 kinds of things that I hate the most. I want to include kitties and desserts. After saying this, Luo Qing and the 3 were even more surprised. But if you hate it, why would you open this dessert shop here, and specialize in dealing with children? Nami was very puzzled. Yeah, why? Maybe because of obsession. Little Lori forgot to smoke, until the flickering cigarette burned her fingers. She suddenly woke up. I'm happy, you are in charge. You. Nami is so angry, such a little loli is really unpopular. Isn't there another thing that you hate? What is it? Luo Qing has a feeling that perhaps the reason why she hates children and desserts, she still has to face up to the difficulties, because of the third kind of thing she hates. Okay, the cigarettes are out, you can leave as soon as you have nothing to do, I can't go out to sea with you. So you are going to stay on this island for the rest of your life. Face things you hate all your life. To punish yourself. What do you know? What do you know about me? I have seen too many self-righteous guys like you. Is the 50 million bounty great? I don't know how many pirates with over 100 million bounty come to eat on this island every day. I have seen the Rear Admiral more than 10 times. What do you think you are? Luo Qing is just a tentative question. You reading www. Yuakanshu. Com didn't expect little Lori's reaction to be so big. But when he listened to what little Lori said, he laughed instead. You investigated me in particular. The faceless Luo Qing has a bounty of 50 million baili from the East China Sea. Do you still use investigation? Just look at the reward order and you will know. You don't think that the small island with so many pirates every day will not attract the attention of the Navy Intelligence Department. I don't know how many pirates who came here were all caught up in an ambush by the Navy after they left this island. I think you should leave here as soon as possible. The word zonly caught alive, or rare enough. Which Navy high level **** are you? Or which big power came out? Facing little Lori's merciless mockery, Nami and Kirby were very nervous, but Luo Qing suddenly laughed. Do you need a powerful force to protect you? Or do you need to help you solve a very powerful enemy? It's so powerful that even Rear Admiral will be scared off when he hears it. Any pirate who comes to this island will not dare to listen to you. It's so powerful that he can only stay on this island day after day. Waiting for the 4 emperors of red hair to appear in the year. Chapter 52. Scheduled 4 emperor opponents. The scene suddenly became very strange and silent. Little Lori stared at him silently, but Nami and Kirby didn't understand why he said that. It can make the rebellious pirates and the pretentious navy be frightened by the wind, and even the enemy who can only be dealt with only by waiting for the return of the red hair indefinitely, except for being one of the 4 emperors, I can't think of it. Other people. Your enemy will never be an admiral or a marshal, right? In that case, you would have been arrested long ago. The reason why you went to inquire about my news after meeting yesterday was only with a glimmer of hope, but after seeing the word zonly allowed to be caught alive, you think you can use my speciality, or the greatness behind it. The forces fulfilled your wish, that's why they performed so fiercely. Exciting general method. It works well. So, am I right? Luo Qing appeared to be quite confident. It is not that he is very good at reasoning, but that little Lolita behaves very abnormally today. According to her performance yesterday, they should be driven away by her as soon as they show up today, instead of saying, you go, I won't go out to sea with you, and then go and talk to them. No, I deliberately led the topic to the other side. It is really hard not to doubt her purpose. Little Lori Snow was silent, but slowly said after lighting a cigarette again. You guessed it right, I did it on purpose. It has been 2 years since I came to this island. During this period, I met countless guys who brag about how awesome I was, but after I just mentioned that name inadvertently, everyone ran away in panic. Lost. From the initial expectation, it has slowly turned into despair and numbness. Red-haired Shanks is my last hope on this island. So before I mention that person's name, you should take someone away. You are too weak, and the forces behind it are probably not comparable. It is because I have lost my calm that I will feel like I have lost my heart, and I have a little more expectation of you. After finished speaking, little Lolita turned and left with a lonely expression. If it weren't for the phrase, only allowed to be caught alive, it would be too rare, she would never have said so much to Luo Qing. Now think about it, maybe she's been waiting for too long to be evil. How can a larger power compare to that person's power? Unless the Navy dispatches all its combat power and fights. Because of Luo Qing. Just because, only allowed to catch alive. She is indeed crazy. But the moment she turned around, Luo Qing suddenly stopped her. Maybe I am not good now, but one day I will personally change the pattern of the world, the four emperors. That will only be a stumbling block in my path. If you are willing to wait any longer, just tell me your story, it may affect which stumbling block I choose to crush first in the future. A newcomer with a reward of only 50 million came to the first island of the Great Root and uttered a rant to trample the four emperors under his feet. I really don't know if it's arrogant or really confident in myself. Don't say it's sinew. Even Nami and Kirby looked at their captain with a look of lunatic. If this word is spread, it is estimated that the four emperors will not take action, and the pirates who have heard the news will tear them to pieces. After all, the current four emperors are recognized by most people as the four emperors of the sea. Anyone needs the navy to do its best to be able to contend with it. The final result may not be able to win, it is very likely that both sides will suffer. Little Lori Snow wanted to laugh subconsciously. This was really the funniest joke she had heard in the past 2 years. But I don't know why, being watched by Luo Qing's extremely serious eyes makes her unable to laugh. Even the mocking words are automatically closed to the lips. Do you really want to know? Whether you believe it or not, sooner or later I will take the initiative to challenge the four emperors. It has nothing to do with you. The only difference is that if you become my person, after I have enough strength, the enemy you are afraid of will become my first target. This is my guarantee and promise. Whether you choose to trust me or not, the decision is yours. Everyone can speak big words, and every day I hear a group of people who don't know the heights of the sky are shouting to be the One Piece. Big talk. Time will tell. Luo Qing appeared to be very calm. He is not Naruto. He does not have a full level, mouth escape, and there is no way to make everyone believe his arrogant words. All he can do is to give hope and promise to those who believe in him, and complete it in due time. At least I am the only person you have ever seen who has not been scared away by the name of the four emperors. Besides, I think it's useless for you to continue to wait, let alone whether you can wait until the red hair arrives. Even if you do see it, what can you do? Could it be that you still have this confidence, and the red-haired Shanks, who is also the four emperors, will launch this kind of war that may affect the world pattern because of you? Don't think too much about yourself. www.mtlnovel.com. Only at this stage one will give you a promise. Only I can give you this opportunity. Even if you and I may die on the road to challenge the four emperors in the end, you have at least tried it. It's all here, please think about it. I will stay here for 3 days, and after 3 days I will find a chef to go to see. After finished speaking, Luo Qing left with Nami and Kirby with a bewildered look. And the little Lori Snow lit a cigarette again. I'm really crazy, but I am a little pirate with a bounty of 50 million, and I have no courage. So does he only speak big words or is he really dependent? What should I do? Like he said, how about waiting for red hair? What bargaining chip does she have to impress Shanks? What revenge? It seems that it is nothing in the end. On the other side, Nami and Kirby leaving from here are still in a dizzy state. That fake loli has a grudge against the four emperors. It should be, the specific situation will be decided after listening to her story. Nami wanted to talk but stopped. Luo Qing saw it, he immediately smiled and said. What you want to say? Are we really going to confront the four emperors? Because of a fake loli? Helping her is only incidental. Sooner or later we will meet the four emperors. It's a matter of time. Luo Qing seemed very confident. If he couldn't even pass the four emperors level, what else would he talk about conquering the world? Okay, what else can Nami and Kirby say about such a self-confident captain? Chapter 53, Snowball. Do you think she will really come? Just rely on your empty words. Randomly found a restaurant and began to enjoy the food, Nami asked suspiciously. Luo Qing feasted, and said mysteriously, in fact, all the drowning people need is hope. On this island, besides his open traveler who dares to praise this Heiko for helping her, who else would dare to promise her? Shanks has this strength, but in terms of philosophy, he cannot help. Looking to maintain the current world structure, Shanks, who seeks a sense of peace, avenges an unknown girl and initiates a war with another four emperors. Even 10,000 years of April Fool's Day together is impossible. That's why Luo Qing was very calm, and it didn't matter anyway. She chose to believe him, and then helped her take revenge. If she doesn't believe it, it's normal. Anyway, she doesn't have to. Seeing that he was so confident, Nami and Kirby stopped thinking about it anymore, but fell into a sea of delicious food. Luo Qing thought that even if Sinyu had to make up his mind, he would see a petite figure waiting there smoking a cigarette a few days later when they returned to the boat at night. Looking at the densely packed cigarette butts on the ground, it was obvious that she was very anxious. A decision was made so soon. Say on board, this is not a place to talk. Little Lolita put out her cigarette and followed them without saying a word. Nami gave Luo Qing a meaningful look, as if she was accusing a certain lowly accusation that she finally got what she wanted. Can Luo Qing admit it? Can't decisively. The darkness fell unconsciously. Kirby went to cut some fruit and brought it up, then was sent away for training. The look in Kirby's eyes when he left was a pity. He was also very curious. All right. Since you will find here, you should make a decision, right? My enemy is the Bigmom of the four emperors. Are you sure you want to help me now? Little Lori didn't know how many cigarettes she had smoked, and her voice became hoarse. Luo Qing smiled. The same sentence, even without you, I will challenge the four emperors. With you, it just helped me determine the first goal. Don't take yourself too important. After listening to Luo Qing's words, Sinyu nodded slightly after being silent. Although she was very unwilling, she admitted that Luo Qing was right. In front of an enemy like the four emperors, no one would die because of her. Tell your story. First of all, I want to make sure you are worthy of my help. In addition, you have to be prepared to continue waiting. I will not go to death for nothing until I am not sure. Little Lolita probably figured it out, or she has no choice. So there is a story about little Lori Snow unfolded under this beautiful starry sky. The full name of Lori Snow is Snow Bowl. When he was very young, he accidentally ate a devil fruit and became what he is now, but because of this he has the ability to make everything smaller. Their family was originally a resident of Cake Island. Their parents opened a dessert shop on the island and became famous. But one day 5 years ago, the bulimia of Bigmom suddenly fell into madness. At that time, Bigmom called for mille feuilles. But mille feuilles is particularly difficult to make. The trickiest part is that it has 1 million layers of meringue and it also has to match the huge size of Bigmom. The children of Bigmom almost arrested all the chefs on the island who could make this dessert, but she escaped because of the petite size of her child. But just before the final completion, Bigmom, who waited for too long and fell into madness, first killed the 2 children who blocked her, and then came to the place where a mille feuilles was made, and took the unfinished mille feuilles, ate in with a few chefs. Among them are her parents. Even so, in the end, Bigmom went crazy for a while, and finally recovered his calm after mille feuilles from another place sent it over. But at that time, most of the Cake Island had been destroyed in her hands. Sinyu's parents also passed away forever, and the painful experience of being eaten out of control of Bigmom as a dessert. Since then, she has hated desserts, hatred, Bigmom, and herself. She has been stuck in self-blame. If she had also gone with her parents at the time, would she be able to finish the dessert at the last minute? She hated her body like a child, and she hated her as well as the child. But his parents have always liked the appearance of a little girl, she has never grown up. S love for desserts is also very profound under the influence of his parents. So after coming to this Halberd Island from the New World after several twists and turns, she fell into a deep conflict. On the one hand, she was extremely disgusted, and on the other hand, she was unwilling to give up the love of her parents, forcing herself to dress up as a little loli every day, making desserts and dealing with children every day. This is the whole story of Sinyu. After listening, Luo Qing, Nami and Kirby, who secretly pricked her ears while hiding aside while exercising, www.mtlnovel.com, were very sympathetic to her. How to avoid such unwarranted disasters. Every time a large number of people die when they commit binge-eating disorder in Bigmom, most of the island is destroyed. This is the result of being able to deliver the dessert she wants in time, otherwise the consequences are unimaginable. I really don't know how the people on Cake Island survived. So, from now on you will be the cook on my boat. Luo Qing smiled suddenly and stretched out his right hand. He didn't say anything to comfort him, and he didn't say anything else that would kill. Bigmom. Is just a simple action, a simple smile represents his position. After finishing talking, he also looked at Nami and Kirby. He hoped that every new companion in the future would be recognized by everyone. Nami curled her lips and turned her head to another place, but she didn't know when she reached out her hand. Kebi also smiled and trot over and put his hand on it. In the end, everyone turned their eyes to little Lori Snow. Oh, I'm really crazy. I actually believe you. Although she said that, she gritted her teeth and put her hand on it. Now what can I do besides choosing to believe? At least Luo Qing is the first guy to give him a clear promise. Even if she finally died on the road of revenge, she has no regrets. Oh roar. Kirby is going to take out all the wines. Today everyone celebrate and have a good time. Where is the kitchen? Alcohol is nothing. I'll go get some food and drink. Don't eat my tongue for a while. Ha ha ha. Party time. Chapter 54. One big gift. Although the kitchen equipment on Luo Qing's boat was sprayed with no use by the fake Lori Snow, she still cooked very rich dishes with superb methods. Asked Luo Qing and others to forget about drinking, and finally they couldn't walk. Snowball is really 25 years old. After the meal, Luo Qing asked curiously while lying down to digest. How many times have I said it? That's a nickname that only my parents can call me, eldest sister, bastard. Pseudo Lori Snow was yelling uncomfortably while enjoying a cigarette after a meal. When she didn't speak, she was quite cute, and she was completely finished when she spoke, completely destroying all the beauty of Lori in people's minds. By the way, you said that after you accidentally ate the devil fruit, you kept it like this, and you can't grow up anymore. Can all the things that you use to make things smaller can't be changed back? Name also asked curiously, how can she be a companion on the same ship in the future, so she should know more about each other? Xiao Shuecho nodded depressedly, then shook his head again. I am the only one who does not grow up, but people or things that have been made smaller by me can be restored to their original size through my ability to disarm. Humans can be. How small can they be? Pseudo Lolita Snowball suddenly smiled evilly. Since you are curious, feel it for yourself. Reached out and touched him as he spoke, and Luo Qing was really curious and did not choose to dodge. In the next second, Luo Qing disappeared from everyone's sight. In Luo Qing's field of vision, it was like a giant's transition, which is amazing. Where are people? Nami and Kirby carefully searched for a long time before they found Luo Qing, who was only the size of an ant in the original location. Luo Qing felt the strength and speed in his body, and even summoned infinite gloves. Discovered that even though he became like this, his physical fitness and the abilities on the infinite gloves can all be used without the slightest influence. This Nima just doesn't need a black technology version of Ant-Man. Luo Qing was a little surprised. As long as he uses the ability of the little snowball, he can create a group of Ant-Man army in minutes. Although it may not be as flexible as the original version, if you want to become bigger, you will become bigger. If you want to become smaller, you will become smaller. Shua, little snowball released the ability. Luo Qing once again changed back to its original size. Awesome ability. Luo Qing praised without hesitation. Even Nami and Kirby are eager to try. Seeing that they want to experience it so much, Snowball reluctantly activates their abilities again. She doesn't seem to realize how powerful she is. Also, this ability has always been used by her for cooking, but I can't imagine that it is normal in combat. 10 minutes later, Luo Qing, who had passed by Shinchijin, started drinking by the moonlight. During this period of time, Pseudo Lolita Little Snowball also had a certain understanding of everyone. For example, the little white-faced captain who always talks big, such as the 16-year-old sailor whose eyes shine when he mentions money and treasure, such as this kid who has been drunk by Luo Qingqiang and is now drunk. Kirby, his identity seems to be handyman. Xiao Shuecho is becoming less optimistic about her choice. It seems that this 5-year wait has completely driven her crazy, otherwise, how could she be pressed on such a weird group of people? By the way, since I have chosen to join you, this bargaining chip is no longer needed, here it is. Pseudo Lolita Little Snowball did not know where he took out a folded cloth. Throw it to Luo Qing. So where did she hide these things? Is there an extra-dimensional pocket hidden under her skirt, like Nami's double harmonious peaks? Luo Qing took it, opened it and asked casually, "What is this? Is it a love letter?" "It doesn't look like it." Xiao Shuecho ignored his not-funny joke, and said directly, "Have you ever heard of the historical text?" Nami and Kirby were at a loss, obviously because they didn't know anything, while Luo Qing looked serious. "Don't tell me this is rubbed from a piece of historical text." "The answer is correct, but there is no reward. I secretly rubbed this from the BIGMOM station. It is said that one of the 4 road sign history texts of Raf Drew can be reached." Nami and Kirby can't understand them, but Luo Qing knows how powerful this gift is. Roger, who had not yet become the Shanghai Pirate King, secretly rubbed this red road sign history text from his aunt before finally reaching Ralph Drew, completing the legend of One Piece. That is to say, only the collection of 4 red road signs history text has the key to One Piece. And these 4 pieces of red road sign history text, except for the one whose whereabouts are unknown, the other 3 pieces of Luo Qing know where they are. Auntie and Kaido each saved 1 piece, while you read www.yuakanshu.com and the remaining pieces in the hands of the Guangyu clan of Wano country. It's still difficult to get a hand, but I didn't expect that a fake loli would bring him such a great gift. This is the bargaining chip you want to persuade Hongfa to use. Xiao Shuecho nodded. After the death of my parents, I thought a lot, and found that besides the Navy headquarters, the only people who could deal with the 4 emperors were big men who were also the 4 emperors. But to persuade one of the 4 emperors to take a shot, you must have enough chips. So after I made myself small, I sneaked into the premises off a Big Mom, wanting to inquire about some secrets off a Big Mom, but unexpectedly learned the secrets and functions off a historical text. So I quietly brought in a small piece of cloth every day, and rubbed the entire road sign history text, bit by bit, and escaped as my last killer. Since I chose to put the bargain chip on you, then this thing is useless to me. It's not that she never thought of going directly to the other 3-4 emperors to send the chips, but Kaido, who is volatile and closely related to Big Mom, was the first to be eliminated, and she did not listen less during the lurking period. As far as the secrets of a Big Mom are concerned, it includes that she and Kaido have both stayed in the same pirate group. The remaining Whitebeard is very old, and he gave up dominating the sea long after Roger died. This bargaining chip is probably not as good as a piece of toilet paper for Bybird. But the last remaining red-haired Shanks did not have a fixed location, full of new worlds. It's not that she has never tried to find red hair, but after several deadly escapes, she gave up her chance of trying her luck and came here. Chapter 55. Want to see it again. Luo Qing was silent. Is this important? Of course is very important. But his dream is not to be the One Piece, so the so-called One Piece, and the truth of this world, the hidden history, to be honest, it is really not that important to him. Say it is tasteless, and it is something that more than 90% of the people on the sea will definitely fight for. Anyway, this gift is priceless. Even if he doesn't use it, he can still use it as a bargaining chip in exchange for what he wants. Thank you, I have accepted things. If one day I abandon my promise, you can leave and proclaim that this rubbing is in my hands. Nami frowned, looking at Sinew a little unhappy. And Sinew did not give any explanation, because she had already made plans when she handed over this bargaining chip. If Luo Qing doesn't keep her promise, she will choose to leave, and then publicize the matter. At that time, she will not tell the truth of the news, whether it is the angry ant, the pirates who want to get the rubbings, or even the navy. Swarming. This is also her backhand for breaking the net without leaving a bottom line. Unexpectedly, Luo Qing broke it. In the end, the reception ended up unhappily, and Nami returned to the room angrily, but Sinew couldn't explain it because of her calculation. Only Luo Qing shook his head, feeling indifferent. You can't expect everyone to give their heart and soul after only meeting 3 times, that's a fairy tale. If little Snowball really took out things without any preparation, then he would have to weigh them instead. There is nothing wrong with asking for something, the most feared is the inability of people. Not to mention that Luo Qing did indeed receive this great gift. He would not be angry because of being calculated, otherwise he would not accept it. The days to come are still long, time will smooth out these small cracks. Speechless all night, when everyone got up the next day, they were aroused by a very strong fragrance. When Luo Qing and a few people sat at the table in a daze, the extremely well-dressed dishes were already on the table. You don't have to think about it, it must have been made by the little snowball sinew, which I chose to leave yesterday. It's ready for dinner. Yeah, it's very fast to enter the character. Luo Qing couldn't help teasing the fake loli who brought the last soup. If you raise a fat man, you will be photographed to death by Big Mom, in no time. Little Lolita is really not cute when she is venomous. The four enjoyed a delicious breakfast, but the atmosphere was not very harmonious. From the beginning to the end, Nami never gave Xiao Shuecho a good face. Obviously, she did not look down on her last action yesterday. When you finish eating, let's go, buy what you should buy, and then find a permanent pointer to Alabaston. Luo Qing drank black tea comfortably after the meal, full of energy and enviable. Kitchenware. Okay. I bought some kitchen utensils and equipment, and there was nothing on the boat. You deliberately. Xiao Shuecho made his request while smoking a cigarette. That's right, the kitchen on the ship is indeed a bit rudimentary, so you can just say what you need, and we will buy it in a while. It seems that I have to go to the capital of Seven Waters if I have a chance. This ship looks a bit depreciated. It's up to you, but you can go to my place first. There are many things that are readily available. You can buy them when they are lacking. Had no objection, so Luo Qing and his party once again came to the storefront of Pseudo Lolita Snowball, but this time they left without knowing when they would come back. By the way, don't you still need to be certified as a 5-star chef? After putting everything into the infinite gloves, Luo Qing asked under Xiao Shuiqi's surprised eyes. I don't care about that kind of things at all. If it weren't for someone to trouble me and look at me so bullying, it wouldn't let me accumulate so many stars. Moreover, our top priority now is to leave this island as soon as possible. If the words only caught alive are the result of the operation of the forces behind you, it may be fine, but if it is you or something on your body that has been noticed by the Navy, when you arrive, you have to leave quickly. The Navy ships are definitely already heading here. Little Snowball gave Luo Qing a meaningful look, making Luo Qing frown and thought deeply. According to her statement, the most likely possibility is that he has been targeted. Also, he is not afraid of the sea and the sea-building stones, and he has more than one kind of devil fruit ability. If he does not attract the attention of the Navy, then he really suspects that the Navy of this world is going to be cold. So it is his particularity that caught the attention of the Navy. So he issued such a wanted warrant with the idea of catching it alive. Everything seems to be explained. Then speed it up. Nami and Kirby will get the permanent pointers done as soon as possible. Snowball and I will go to buy the supplies and meet on the boat before 3 in the afternoon. Hearing that he put himself and little Lolita into a group, www.mtlnovel.com, Nami's eyes are almost turned over. Although I don't know why you are going to Alabaston, I know where I can buy a permanent pointer to go there. Where is it? Luo Qing had some little surprises, and it was really good for a snake. There is a shop Cal Desert style, on the street next door. The owner there is from Alabaston. He must have a pointer to go there. After that, just report my name. Little Lolita showed the elder sister's domineering, but the cute look is funny. Nami curled her lips and prepared to leave, but was immediately stopped by Luo Qing. What are you doing? Well, give me some money, Nami. I have to have money to buy things. Luo Qing was very embarrassed, especially in front of the new crew. He knew that the last red hollowed-out piece had long ago been ignored. Luo Qing is a regret. Seeing his embarrassment, Nami finally showed a smile. Damn. But just borrow 2 million, and the daily interest of 10,000 is too high. After separating from Nami, Luo Qing spit out depressed. And this is my ship. I also earned the money. Why did it happen in the end? I didn't buy these things for your convenience. Luo Qing said all the way. Xiao Shuecho finally couldn't help asking, you are too useless. If it is really your money, why don't you dare to come back? Luo Qing froze all at once, what can he say? Do you want to say that all my money is used to watch the model show? And it's still a sky-high price of 10 million views. But I really want to watch it again. Chapter 56. Meet the Navy again. After the purchase was completed, everyone regrouped on the ship. Luo Qing found that Nami's face was a little weird, and she always stared at little Snowball, so he asked, "What's the matter? Have you bought anything?" Nami nodded, and then revealed the permanent pointer on her wrist. The other party didn't want to sell it, but after I mentioned her name, the boss immediately gave me the things like a ghost, and even the money was confiscated. What did you do to that person? This is the first time Nami spoke to Snowball after the episode yesterday. It's nothing, the most important thing is when you get it, isn't it? I still can't like it. Nami rolled her eyes and turned away. Hurry up and store everything, ready to go. At the same time, Colonel Tina, who was supposed to investigate the dancing fans in Alabaston, changed his course due to an order from the Navy Marshal Sengoku. As the message confirmed, a female Navy with long pink hair wearing a red suit on the outside is the standard justice captain of the admiral standing on the bow and asking vigorously. Confirmed. The faceless pirate group arrived at Gigi Island 3 days ago, and they did not cover their tracks. Very good. Go ahead at full speed, and be sure to kill the faceless pirates. Report. There is the latest news from Gigi Island. The Voyage Siname of the suspected faceless pirate group has just purchased the permanent pointer of Alabaston and seems to be ready to sail. Tina frowned. She didn't expect her two missions to converge. Let the intelligence personnel over there continue to keep an eye on the movements of the faceless pirate group and report at any time. Yes. Adjust the course, slow down, watch hands, pay attention to the surroundings, as long as you find a suspicious ship immediately warning. Yes. Bring me the intelligence information of the faceless pirate group again. All the information about Luo Qing and his group arrived in Tina's hands in no time. Although it was not the first time she saw it, Tina was still very angry and puzzled. She is naturally aware of the decay and depravity of a part of the Navy, but she did not expect it to be so blatant. And what made her even more confused was a little pirate with a bounty of only 50 million. As for the Admiral of the Navy to intervene personally. And also gave an order to catch it alive. Although I don't know what secrets this man named Luo Qing has in his body that makes the Navy leaders so value, but since she has received the order, she will never let anyone go. At this point, she is different from Smog's stunned green. It is really embarrassing to say that a dignified person with natural ability was snatched by a small pirate from the East China Sea and shot down into the sea. Next time I see Smog, I have to laugh at him. As for applying for support, Tina chuckled slightly. A day later, Luo Qing, Nami, and the newly recruited chef Snowball lay side by side on the sun loungers enjoying the bright sunshine. This corrupt, harmonious, defeated life is really pleasant. Except for a kid who is at the helm with tears in his heart. Kebi, take out 3 more glasses of juice, remember to add ice. Is teacher. Kirby seems to have become accustomed to this kind of life. He exercises according to the training plan that Luo Qing gave him every day. In his free time, he cleans up and acts as a waiter. When Luo Qing and others are resting, he has to take the helm. Every day is so fulfilling. Are you really pirates? Kei won't be kidnapped by you, right? Xiao Shuecho enjoyed the current pace of life with satisfaction, but still couldn't help but complain. Kirby was rescued by a group of extremely vicious pirates in the East China Sea. I think he is a good seed, so I accepted him as a disciple, and if he talks nonsense, I will sue you for slander. Luo Qing's face is no one. The Alrida Pirates, which has a reward of only 5 million, was blown so evil by him. I really don't know what Alrida would think when he knew that he was so powerful under Juquan. Are you sure you just want to find a handyman who is obedient, hardworking, and free of money? Nami and Xiao Shuecho complained like this in their hearts at the same time. Then they heard a snap. It turned out that Kirby shattered the glass containing the juice. Let me say what is good about you. It seems that the practice is still not in place, even the dishes are not stable. Luo Qing said a few words silently, but he wouldn't be angry about this little thing. Why are you still stunned? Hurry up and prepare 3 glasses of juice. See. Navy. Kebi was so frightened that he was stunned. To say that his courage is really small, he must find a way to train him. Luo Qing, thinking so, got up and looked at. Sure enough, I don't know when a very mighty warship came straight towards them, very fast. This is too unlucky. Luo Qing frowned but was not afraid. The Navy would also be divided into 3 or 6 or 9 classes, as long as those who were not too powerful showed up. Yu read www. Yuakanshu. He really doesn't think he will lose. Nami. Can this distance still escape the pursuit of the Navy? Luo Qing asked loudly. Nami compared the speed of the two sides and their respective headings and shook their heads and said, can't avoid it. The other side obviously spotted us in advance, and then came straight to us. Even if we turn around now, we are at an absolute disadvantage in terms of speed. It is a matter of time before we are caught up. This ship is still too rubbish. In terms of firepower, speed, and size, there is no advantage. Especially when they were facing the black technology warships of the Navy headquarters, this disadvantage was magnified countless times. Once found, it's hard to escape. So Luo Qing made a decisive decision. Nami adjusts her course and rushes up. Since you can't run away, there is only one battle. Nami gritted her teeth and ran to take the helm. Kirby. Go inside and hide, don't come out for a while, no matter what happens, unless I call you. Teacher, I can fight too. Kebi's trembling appearance is really not convincing. Okay, go in now, it's too early for you to join the battle. Kebi is very unwilling, but what can he do? Staying outside is a hindrance to the teacher. For a while. After finishing the arrangement of Kirby, Luo Qing whispered to Xiao Shuecho again. Are you sure you want to do this? Don't worry, I never make jokes about this kind of thing. At this time, I heard Nami yell, come on. Looking at the dozen or so shells that came flying, Luo Qing cursed shamelessly, then stood up and greeted him. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel Chapter 57, Go Through. The Navy's standard attack method is like this. It relies on the long range and fast speed of the warships under its feet, and fires a few rounds before it gets close. As long as you get hit, even if you are fine, the boat is over. Without a boat, where can a pirate falling into the water go on this vast sea? Otherwise, Luo Qing could scold the Navy shamelessly. You can fight in a fight, but the ship cannot be destroyed. Can't swim to Alabaston. Fortunately, the first round of shelling was only a test shot, and there was only one shell that really threatened. Luo Qing immediately activated the ability to slip the fruit and jumped into the air to take the initiative to meet the shell. Swish. At the moment when the shell and Luo Qing's body touched, the trajectory of the shell was deflected to some point, and it slipped and flew. The slippery fruit is used to defend against physical attacks with real objects, and the effect is simply against the sky. Yao thinks that when he first got this devil fruit, Luo Qing was very disappointed and couldn't look down on it, but now it's lucky. But before he was grateful for a few seconds, the second round of shelling came again. And it is much more accurate than the first test shot. No way, Luo Qing had to bite the bullet again. After the extremely difficult, sliding, off the second shelling, Luo Qing was a little anxious. Speed up. Go over. Nami also knew the crisis of the situation and kept adjusting her position to reduce Luo Qing's burden. In this way, after evading the third round of shelling with great difficulty, the two sides finally got in touch. Prepare for the battle. Except for Captain Luo Qing, who must be captured alive, everyone else will not show mercy if they resist. Yes. Just as Tina was mobilizing loudly, she suddenly saw a woman on the other ship making a full throw action. A small black dot swish across the distance of more than 20 meters, and then when it came to the position above the warship, the little snowball directly released its ability. Luo Qing, who returned to his normal size again, landed on the ship with a thunderous force. Then, before the people around him could react, Luo Qing, who had all the dual fruit ability activated, moved. Sharp claws dyed the deck red in an instant. This is the result of his mercilessness, otherwise he would inevitably end up being chopped or broken. The Navy was plunged into chaos, and Nami and others took this opportunity to drive directly beside the warship to the distance. Without worries, Luo Qing, who has liberated all his combat power, is extremely terrifying. These ordinary navies are not his opponents at all. The sophisticated swords of Luo Qing's infinite claw sleeve will break when touched, like decay. Planks. All spread out, let Tina come. After the commander's scream, the panicked navy seemed to have found the backbone, and slowly retreated vigilantly, only to surround him. Under Luo Qing's gaze, a beautiful pink-haired navy came out. Just grab it with your hands, your companion has abandoned you, you can't run away. It's a coincidence. Smog said something similar, but it turned out that he was almost drowned, and I didn't have any shit, but I was living in front of you. If Luo Qing remembers correctly, this female navy who always calls herself Tina should have been with Smog, and there seems to be something between them. It wasn't he who beat Smog, and then his future girlfriend came to avenge him. This is too bloody. Huh. Smog loses because he is too arrogant. And Tina will not make such a mistake. Hair feather threshold. Before the words fell, Tina stretched out her arms. The pitch-black steel barrier suddenly stretched out from in front of her arms. Luo Qing was taken aback and hurriedly avoided. He almost forgot that Tina is also a devil fruit-capable person, like a thrill fruit, which can directly trap the enemy and is difficult to break free. Black gun. A black spear was aimed at Luo Qing, who was sliding at a high speed and threw away in advance. Luo Qing once again used his high speed to avoid this heavy blow. Boom. The 2 or 3 meter long black spear plunged directly into the deck. This is powerful. It's useless. No matter how powerful a move can't hit people, it's useless. Although the space for dodge on the ship is limited, Tina's attack can't catch him. Tina suddenly stopped her attack and said to the surrounding navy, "You are all in the water, it's too much trouble to stay here." Nothing. Like dumplings, all the navy on board jumped into the sea, leaving all the fighting space on board to their beautiful colonel. Your biggest mistake is that you shouldn't fight Tina in such a limited space. The cage of the iron threshold. A huge pitch-black iron cage was buckled on the deck, and Tina and Luo Qing who stayed in the cage were like beasts to be watched. They could not escape and could only fight desperately, and finally survived. Now you can't run away anymore. It seems to be no different from just now. As soon as Luo Qing's voice fell, I felt a shock. This steel cage is shrinking inward slowly. Do you still surrender? Tina is already holding the winning ticket, www.mtlnovel.com, no one can escape from this cage. Then she saw Luo Qing frowning and walking to the front of the barrier, waving his right paw vigorously. It's useless, Tina is the ability of the threshold fruit, these barriers are stronger than steel. Huh. Doesn't it seem that hard? Luo Qing spit out a word of disrespect, and then made another 2 sighs. The large hurdles were cut off by his infinite claw set, as simple as passing through a bamboo forest. Tina is a little dumbfounded. This is impossible. How could the barrier created by Tina's ability be cut off so easily? Luo Qing is also helpless, the infinite glove is so awesome, what can he do? I can't fight anymore, I will leave if I don't fight. Black gun array. Some panicked Tina kept generating black spears from the cage of the iron sill to attack Luo Qing. Facing this kind of attack, Luo Qing behaved as leisurely as walking in a leisurely courtyard. She would hide if she could avoid it. Just use slippery fruit to slide open. After shooting a black gun for 5 minutes, Tina herself was panting with exhaustion, apparently exhausting her physical strength. And Luo Qing didn't have any farts, and he didn't even hurt a single hair. On the contrary, this warship was smashed and riddled with holes. It is estimated that it will be useless. But when Luo Qing shook his head and was about to chase Nami and others, a violent wind came, and he subconsciously dodged to the right, but he was still hit. Shave. Tina used a half-baked 6-style shave to pass through Luo Qing's body at once. Yes, just put it through instead of slipping away. Luo Qing lowered his head and glanced at the barrier on the left half of his body, his eyes were a little gloomy. Chapter 58. Another Navy colonel was planted in his hands. The threshold fruit has a characteristic, that is, the user can pass the human body, and then only leave the threshold. At the moment when the ability is activated, the person with the threshold fruit ability will present a state of illusory. And this state just restrains Luo Qing's slippery fruit. There is no contact, how come the slide away? The power of the devil fruit is indeed a strange coexistence. Found that the left half of his body that was trapped could not get rid of the trap with the slippery fruit. It seemed to be directly connected to his skin, and Luo Qing's relaxed expression was never seen again. Wouldn't it be good to just walk there? Tina will definitely capture you. Seeing that this trick finally worked on Luo Qing, Tina mobilized the last stamina in her body, gritted her teeth and resorted to shave. You got it. Seeing that Luo Qing didn't choose to dodge this time, but directly stretched out his right hand as if trying to catch her, Tina's face showed joy. But with the horror on her face in the next second, she was choked by Luo Qing and smashed into the deck heavily. Impossible. Whoa. Tina vomited a big mouthful of blood. Feeling the unprecedented weakness in her body and the ability of the devil fruit that she could never find again, Tina panicked. Although she has been guarding against the Helu stone weapon Luo Qing may have taken from Smog, she is sure that this person has never taken it out from the beginning to the end. But what's the matter? Shocked. Can't figure it out. Unfortunately, I have no obligation to explain to you. Go back and tell the high-level Navy who sent you. Although they don't know what they want from me, it's better not to make any more ideas. I won't be merciful next time. After finishing speaking with a cold face, Luo Qingxi lifted up his left hand without mercy and hit Tina's belly with a punch. Then another punch, another punch. After Tina passed out while vomiting blood while rolling her eyes, Luo Qing released the right hand that held her neck. And as Tina lost consciousness, all the black bars on the boat and on the left half of Luo Qing disappeared. If you can wear the infinite gloves with the mighty power of Helushi, Lao Su will do it. Looking at the Navy who were trying to climb onto the ship in the sea, screaming to avenge their officers, Luo Qing glanced at them with disdain, jumped into the sea and left. The ability of free surfing is still very useful. It didn't take long for Luo Qing, who was enjoying the thrill of surfing, to catch up with Nami and others who were waiting for his return in the sea ahead. It's the teacher is back. Kebi is still so excited. And Xiao Shuecho quietly breathed a sigh of relief. He was alone in dealing with a naval ship with a colonel and returned safely. It seems that this guy has really had two lives. Only Nami chose to believe him from beginning to end. When he jumped on the boat, he directly stepped forward and gave him a hug, and when Luo Qing felt that the waves should be steady, Nami's roar pulled him back to reality. Hurry up to repair the cabin. Why is it so slow to come back? Kirby, hurry up and get ready to set sail. How can someone not cook? What time is it? Dodged 3 waves of shelling, but it was unavoidable to get one shot. Fortunately, there was no leak, otherwise they might really have to swim to Alabaston. Really? I see, let Colonel Tina feel relieved for the time being. Let's put things aside from Alabaston. After hanging up the phone worm, the gloom between the brows of the Warring States period is clearly visible. He didn't blame Tina for carrying out arrests without applying for support, but judging from the current intelligence, that guy is really not something ordinary people can deal with. Especially in the report just now, it was mentioned that the golden glove on Luo Qing's right hand was suspected of being mixed with Helu stone. This also further proves the Sengoku conjecture, it is really hard not to let people care. There is no weakness of the devil fruit ability, and there may be more than one kind. If he is allowed to continue to grow, what changes will it bring to the current world structure? Especially if the opponent doesn't have any favorable impressions of the Navy. Those words that Luo Qing said before she beat Tina half to death were also reported by Tina, who had just sobered up. Obviously the other party has already noticed something, and has also reached the limit of tolerance for repeated provocations against the Navy. If you are in the match next time, it is estimated that it will be endless. Speaking of it, the other party has been merciful more than once. First it was Smog's stunned green, and then Tina was the hapless person. From these two things, it can be seen that the other party doesn't want to do everything, otherwise, the grass in front of the graves of Small and Tina should have grown. Finally, Tina was severely injured, but because Tina's sneak attack worked, she angered the opponent. From this point of view, it doesn't seem that there is no chance of recruiting security. Chihuahua. Let's take a look again. Alabaston is a sand crocodile site. It's really hard to say what will happen next in UU reading www.uakanshu.com. Hesitated, the Warring States period did not send high-end naval forces to capture Luo Qing. In fact, the admirals were so busy to die. Who has the time to make a special trip for a small pirate with a bounty of 50 million? The people who are weaker are sending food. The strong ones are on the side. Every day they discuss the movement of the 4 emperors. It is impossible for them to appear on their desks without a reward of 300 or 500 million. In this case, Tina was already the most suitable candidate he could send, but she was still beaten to death. You can only let it go for a while. So the Warring States period brought in someone to pay close attention to the faceless pirate group, and after regularly sorting out the information to him, he went to work on other things. As for raising the bounty, impossible. Unless the Warring States period has determined that Luo Qing's secret is not what he thought, or Luo Qing has done something that can't be suppressed, otherwise he wants to raise the bounty. Go dreaming. At the same time, Luo Qing, who was still on the route to Alabaston, did not know that the bounty he should have increased was once again suppressed by the Warring States. He just thought, another Navy colonel was beaten to death by me. Now the bounty should go up. After all, when you go out to report your own home, you will be offering a bounty of 50 million yuan, so how am I ashamed to say hello to the pirate supernova who is acting hundreds of millions of dollars? Is really delaying Luo Qing's great cause of acting. 998, 999, 1000. Teacher, I am finally done. Don't pretend to be dead. Another hour of stance. It can't be done, I have no food tonight. Kirby lying on the ground has no love. Chapter 59. Bait. The Kingdom of Alabaston is one of the superpowers located on the Great Sea route Shengting Island. An exotic country full of desert atmosphere. Not long ago, except for the capital Albana, it stopped raining everywhere, which is tantamount to a thunderbolt in a desert country. So many people believed that the drought was caused by the king's private use of the rain-inducing agent, dancing powder, and reported it to the navy. The seeds of the civil war were planted at this moment. Ha! It's really hot. After disembarking at the port of rapeseed flour, Luo Qing and his party mounted a camel and started their own desert journey. In this case, the advantage of the 100 cubic meters of space of the infinite gloves is reflected, allowing them to pack lightly, and a large amount of food and water sources are stored in it, without worrying about being thirsty. Isn't there yet? It's the weather. To drag the blessing of this hot weather, Nami wears a three-point style inside and a flimsy scarf on the outside, like an exotic dancer. I saw it, it should be right ahead. After hearing this, a few people cheered up and went straight to the oasis ahead. It should be Rainland here. After entering the city, Luo Qing said to himself while looking at the surrounding scenery. Alabaston, where there is no rain anywhere, is here as the new dream city, the base camp of Crocodile, and the kingdom's largest casino, Rain Banquet, is located here. What should I do next? Luo Qing can't just hit the door like this, his strength is not so powerful yet. However, it seems that the information work of the Baroque Work Agency has always been controlled by Nicole Robin, and then reported to the big boss Sand Crocodile after finishing. So is it possible to reach an agreement with Robin first? Luo Qing frowned as he watched the crowded streets. Let's go, find a place to stay first. Then Xiao Shuecho and Keibe were left in the room. Luo Qing and Nami came to a pub to inquire about information. After all, it was too eye-catching to take two children on the trip. 10 minutes later, Luo Qing drank the wine in the glass, then swaggered to sit down in front of the bartender. Continued cup. I said, your wine is too expensive. You can buy at least such a big barrel for the same money elsewhere. Complained dissatisfiedly, Luo Qing made exaggerated gestures. It may be that I have met many foreigners like him. The bartender is very skilled and took him a glass and said, it's no way expensive. Who makes this a desert country? It would be nice to have alcohol. That's true. There is a shortage of water everywhere along the way. It's hard to imagine how you lived for so many years. Speaking of this, the bartender also sighed. In fact, although there was a shortage of water before, it was not that serious. It is still possible to maintain the normal life of the people. But just a few months ago, an unprecedented drought suddenly appeared, and it stopped raining everywhere except the capital Alba. I don't know how many innocent people are dying of thirst. Luo Qing drank the wheat wine in the glass again and motioned for him to refill it. I heard people say that the king quietly used dancing powder to become like this. Although Luo Qing's voice was very small, the bartender looked around vigilantly before whispering back, don't say such things outside. Recently, it's a little bit uneasy. Many people have gathered together in private and don't know what they are plotting. I don't want to be involved. Luo Qing smiled, and then pretended to ask casually. I know, yes, I heard someone introduce someone here to take that kind of business. It happened that I had an old opponent who didn't give me face, and I wanted him to disappear. The kind that is silent. Is there any way for little brother? Talking, Luo Qing took out a wad of berry from his arms and pushed it to the bartender together with the empty glass. The bartender glanced left and right, and then took it into his arms as he knew how to do it. Then you were looking for the right person, the third one from the east on the opposite street, the code is this. After silently recording the beat of the bartender, Luo Qing drank the last glass of wine and greeted Nami to leave. And just after they left, the young bartender quickly recorded something on the note, then turned around and tapped twice on a wine grid behind him, putting the note down and continued his work as if nothing had happened. A few minutes later, Luo Qing and Nami came to a store with a closed door. From the outside, it seemed to be abandoned for a long time. Luo Qing stepped forward and tapped on the door rhythmically as the bartender told him. Waited another 3 minutes before hearing a click and the door was opened. Luo Qing and Nami looked at each other, and then walked in with a little caution. It was dark inside, and then a voice came from the only luminous mouth. Buy intelligence or hire killers. Luo Qing's original intention was to hire a killer, and kill him directly after he lied people over. But this approach can be done once or twice at most, and it is also very easy to attract the attention of the sand crocodile. www.mtlnovel.com. After all, there are so many advanced agents. Although there are many demon fruit abilities, it is not bad. And even if it was planned like this, it would be hard to fool the Baroque work agency's intelligence capabilities. So Luo Qing changed his mind when he heard that the other party was still selling information. He took out the big gift that little Snowball gave him from the inside of the space, and then took out a piece of white paper and started writing and drawing. Then he passed the paper on which some ghost picture symbols were written through the light port. I want to know the information on this. The person inside obviously couldn't understand the ancient words written by Luo Qingchao, and even this kind of transaction was the first time he encountered it. After a short silence, the person inside went on to say, wait a minute, I can't evaluate the reward for this task, I need to report it. Yes. Luo Qing is also betting that such trivial matters will not be directly reported to Sand Crocodile, but will be reported to Miss Alsunday Nicole Robin, who specializes in collating information. And as long as this thing gets into Robin's hands, the next thing will be easy. As an archaeologist, when facing the things that I have pursued in my life, how can I not be moved? After all, Crocodile took in Robin because of her ability to interpret ancient characters, and when Robin knew that Crocodile was following the fall of the ancient weapon, Pluto, she had already embarked on the road of betrayal. In order to know the content of the ancient text, it seems that it is no different to betray Crocodile in advance. After waiting for a full half an hour of boredom, the sound from the wall came again. And this time obviously has been replaced. Got the bait. Chapter 60. Nicole Robin. This is a very rare text, which needs to be interpreted in context. If you want to commission a task, it is best to take out all the text, and the price is definitely not cheap. You have to be prepared. Although Robin has been very careful, he even deliberately used price to shift the focus. But the urgency and tension in her words all exposed her identity. I don't like talking to the wall, so let's forget it, and leave those texts for your memory. After finished speaking, Luo Qing turned and left. Are you kidding, our Baroque workplace? No one can get out of this door without paying the price. Really? Then I'm going to leave. Call out all the thugs quickly. Luo Qing is not afraid at all. Such an important matter, with Robin's character, it is impossible for people to stay around here. If exposed, she is the first person to pass the sand crocodile level. When Luo Qing put his hand on the iron gate and pushed it slightly, he heard the sound of the wall moving behind and the sound of footsteps. I'm out. Let's talk about the entrustment. After all, our work agency has always had a good reputation. Robin walked out casually in an OL costume, as if it was not her who threatened. I suddenly don't want to talk anymore, what should I do? Turning his head, Luo Qing chuckled and said, the entire negotiation atmosphere has been firmly in his hands. It is Robin who wants and must get things in his hands, not him. So you are playing me. Rao is Robin's good temper. In front of the suspected, historical text, Luo Qing's repeated teasing has also become a bit angry. But before Luo Qing looked like, "What can you do with me?" Robin took a few deep breaths and calmed down. "Just put it straight, I am a literary lover, and I usually like to study these rare words. If you entrust this to me, I can waive the reward. It's just exemption of payment. Not very attractive." After regaining his calm, Robin also noticed something was wrong. The other party seemed to have directed her at her from the beginning, but she frowned and asked, "What do you want?" "I want the whereabouts of Nicole Robin, the son of the devil, do you have any here?" Luo Qing grinned open the corners of his mouth, and began to see the dagger. Robin's pupils shrank violently, and he subconsciously wanted to take action to keep these two people behind. But the other party's look of fear made her hold back this impulse. "About Nicole Robin's whereabouts, even our Baroque work agency does not have one, so let's change the request." "That's a coincidence, you don't know, I know. I'm right, Miss Robin." No longer hesitate, Robin immediately chose to do it. "Even if I need to explain to Crocodile afterwards, I don't hesitate." But at the moment Robin chose to do it, Luo Qing was also unambiguous. The biggest weakness of Wawa fruit is that the blooming flower will all be transferred to the body after taking damage. So when two slender hands grew from Luo Qing's neck and were about to twist his neck, Luo Qing's infinite gloves had already grabbed the hand on the neck. There was a muffled hum from Robin in the next second. The short-term loss of the devil fruit ability made Robin feel extremely weak, and almost fell to the ground, and the attacks that attacked Luo Qing and Nami also turned into petals and disappeared. When Robin finally awakened the devil fruit ability in his body, Luo Qing had no idea when he walked to her side, and then gently put the infinite glove on her right hand on her shoulder. The weak feeling of weakness once again invaded Robin's whole body, and when she was about to collapse, Luo Qing stretched out his hand to support her. Halu Stone, a special method used to deal with those with the devil fruit ability. But don't worry, the weakness is only temporary, and it will return to normal after a while after I remove my hand. So, can we have a good talk now? Miss Nicole Robin. Will the life of hiding in Tibet for so many years be terminated today? Is also good, people like me should have died in that magic killing order 18 years ago. Isn't this result expected long ago? Is the Navy's intelligence really pervasive, or is there even your spies in the Chihuahua? Nicole Robin bit her lip and asked unwillingly. Then she was stunned. Shit Navy. Don't guess, I am here to make a deal with you. Deal. Hope resurfaced in Robin, who was already desperate. She was not afraid of death. She was afraid that she could not learn the historical truth of this world before she died. She was afraid that she could not fulfill O'Hara's last wish. If Miss Robin won't make any misunderstandings anymore, I can take my hand away first as the basis for our next transaction. Robin nodded. Her attack methods were all pervasive, www.mtlnovel.com, but the attack intensity was very lacking. Before she twisted Luo Qing's neck, it was enough for Luo Qing to kill her 10 times with Halu Rock. This kind of artificial needle bored, I am fish, what else can she say? The other party is not a navy, so she is lucky enough. First introduce yourself. No, Luo Qing, the captain of the Faceless Pirates, is offering a reward of 50 million Baileys. Your information is already on my table before coming here. After seeing Luo Qing's somewhat surprised expression, the corners of Robin's mouth were slightly tilted, which was a win. Well, it's nothing surprising. If there are enemies who have come to their base camp and they don't know it, it's really strange that the sand crocodile can live to this day. It is estimated that every pirate or any force that travels to and from Alabaston is under the absolute control of Sand Crocodile. Okay, so you already know the information about me. This time it was Robin's turn to froze for a while, and then a smile appeared on his face. It seems that you have already inquired everything before coming here. Luo Qing can't say no. Is he going to explain that he knows everything because he has watched all the plots of the old thief Oda? Then Robin shook his head. Not yet. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon every day, I will sort out the information for the day and submit it to Clockdale. The information you come here is limited to the people at the bottom who discovered you and I know it. If this is the case, then we can talk about the content of our transaction. First, I need you to help me conceal the existence of these people. Robin nodded. This is very simple. As long as there is no accident, it is easy to hide it for a while.